I thought you were speaking for all of us.
I was.
I thought you were speaking for everybody.
I was, but sometimes
right.
I'm not the best guy to speak for you.
I'm sorry,
so.
Bo. That was very well said, the way you offered not condolences, but well wishes.
My thoughts are with Cal also.
I don't even know what I was going to say.
Well, it was
the Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show.
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still happy.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
I don't know what's going to happen the rest of the basketball season. I mean, none of us do. But Saturday night was a good night. You know, there's still probably going to be something happens that makes us mad, or, you know, there's going to be a twist or a turn. I'm not saying it's all going to be great from here on out. But Saturday night was a good night. Arkansas wins the game. You had the 90 Final Four team back. A lot of Razorback. I mean, it was a Stars night. And Bud Walton Arena was fun Saturday night.
Razorback fans were engaged.
Oh.
Not just at the game, but beyond the game. You know, people were around towns, you know, all throughout Arkansas, maybe in a sports bar, maybe at home, whatever, and they had two screens going. They had their new Flow TV subscription that they're now working today to cancel, which is how you could watch the Razorbacks play in that baseball tournament in North Texas, where the Rangers play.
Right.
And simultaneously, Chuck, the Hogs were winning in baseball in what felt like a big game against TCU. And then they were also winning in basketball. And that's the Razorback experience that you want to have. Kind of a big baseball game on TV, big basketball game on TV, and you're winning.
Think about what happened Saturday night. And you're right. I mean, there were people all over the state paying attention to both. I'm sure there were people at the basketball game keeping up with baseball and vice versa. But Bud Walton Arena was full Saturday night. I mean, I'm not saying every seat was occupied, but you'd have to look for a while to find it empty. I'll put it that way. And then you had, I don't know, 10, 12, 15,000 more down there at Arlington for that baseball game. So you had a lot of Razorback fans engaged on Saturday night. And overall, it was a good weekend. And look, we've had some weekends that weren't very good. And I'm not saying this weekend's the end-all, be-all, and I hope it's not the highlight, but it was a good weekend.
I don't think we need to tell people, but I'll say it anyhow, the idea that it wasn't going to go well with Cal and this guy had come in here to just kind of move to Bella Vista and retire and, you know, not really run this program was just laughable then, and it's proving to be laughable now. I don't know that people really feel that way outside of a vocal minority on social media.
And I don't think they really feel that way. I just think they like to argue.
It's exciting to be a Razorback basketball fan right now. It hasn't been the kind of season Auburn's having, and that's okay. I mean, it's year one, and nobody has a year one like that, with rare exception. Bruce Pearl took them 10 years to get to the Final Four at Auburn. He's a really, really good coach, and they'll probably build a statue of him at Auburn when he leaves. Cal's doing things here, and fans are engaged now. And he talked about, you know, fans hanging around after the game when he was with you in the post game.
Can I just tell the fans how much I appreciate what you did for this team today? And I've talked about this team's resilience to just keep playing, to keep fighting, to lose a game and another game. But you know who else has to have resilience? You all. You have to have resilience. And you've stuck with this team to come here and do this today. We needed that edge.
Yeah, and they got it. And they got another one coming Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. And I know as soon as those words come out of my mouth, people go, it's 8 o'clock again?
Yeah.
And
that's just part of it.
Well, it's going to be that way with Cal. And maybe with enough consistency of these 8 o'clock games, we'll just get used to it. They played at 7 o'clock on Saturday night. That felt like a win.
It did feel like a win. Hey, I'm going to tell you the truth, though. I'm at the house Saturday afternoon, and I'm thinking, hey, it's 7 o'clock. I got to get around quick tonight. You know, it's not like one of those 8 o'clock games. Well, I'll leave the house about 6. You know, it's not like that at all. You know, I was thinking about what Cal said yesterday. You You know, if you're an engaged Razorback fan, like you were talking about a moment ago, and you follow all of it, it's one long, continuous season. I know this because for me, it's one long, continuous season. And, you know, I don't do baseball games anymore. But I know lots of fans, I mean, they're super engaged in all three. And for them, their season starts Labor Day weekend. And their season ends with the last out of baseball in June. That's a long season. There's going to be an ebb and a flow. You think about basketball. Let's just take basketball. And, you know, focus on what Cal was saying right there. A basketball season's 5 months long now. From the exhibition game, anybody that makes it to the Sweet 16, it's going to be 5 months from when you played your first exhibition game in all probability. It is hard to hold a group for 5 months. I mean, those of you who give public speeches or public talks, it's hard to hold a room for 20 minutes. And you're trying to hold a room for 5 months, you know, and fans go through that ebb and flow. You think about all that's going to happen between Labor Day weekend and the last out of baseball season in June. You're going to have a month where you love them. You're going to have a month where you love the Razorbacks as much as you've ever loved them in your life. And you're going to have the next month where you hate Sam Pittman. You hate John Calipari. You've even got questions about Dave Van Horn. And then they'll win a game, and you'll go through a month where it's the greatest thing in the world. And it's a cycle that just keeps repeating itself. And if you're old enough, it's become a lifelong thing. And there is resilience required there. And there is an ebb and a flow to every season, not just for the players and the coaches, but for the fans. And I was glad to hear him acknowledge that. And, you know, Razorback fans and all fans, their requirements to be a fan have never been greater. And I'm talking about financial requirements. They've never been greater. And so consequently, your emotions are going to be heightened because there's more money involved. But I'm just glad he did it. I thought it was the perfect ending to a great night.
Well, sometimes I just feel like when you get on social media or some message board or you're around certain people, there's this narrative that the Razorbacks aren't what they used to be and people don't care as much. And we live in a world where we've got a lot more to pay attention to now. There's a lot more coming, you know, right to our phone, for example, entertainment-wise. But right now, and I feel like it's been this way, you know, for weeks, that you got a very engaged fan base. The worst thing that can happen is when you don't have people paying attention. But all over our state, if you were out to eat or whether you had a TV or didn't have a TV or you're at some competition for your kid or whatever, people had their phones out and they were watching the Razorbacks and they wanted to know what was happening. And that's fun. That's what you're in it for when it comes to being a fan. And I think most people realize you're not always going to win, but can you be relevant? And as bad of a season, if you want to call it that, as Arkansas basketball has endured, the players, the fans, Cal, everybody, didn't happen like you wanted it to happen, get all that. They're still right there, and they're still relevant, and they still have a chance, you feel like, in every game. They've not been in a game where you feel like they're going to just get run out of the building, not in weeks, right? That they just cannot compete. Avicic had an over, like just a unicorn-type night at Auburn. Comes back, scores 20 on Saturday. But if he just has a halfway decent game at Auburn, maybe you figure out a way to win that game. And now we're on this bubble watch, and we're going to start having daily, you know, who else is on the bubble, other teams you want to watch. We'll get into that here in a minute. We'll take some calls coming up, and we'll recap the weekend. But let's just how about a little golf clap for a good Razorback weekend?
I thought it was
an enjoyable weekend.
Baseball team didn't sweep, but they won 2 or 3.
The sun came out over the weekend.
Warmed up a little bit.
I mean, you're walking around in shorts.
Well,
went for a walk yesterday in shorts. I did.
It's going to be 60
just
degrees.
Because.
You're like the college kids, man. If the sun's out, it's 45 degrees. You got shorts on.
I'm all about that.
Are you?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I would prefer to never wear pants. And we'll just leave that there.
There's a drop there, Bart.
6:12. Good morning. It's the Chuck and Bo Show on a Monday. Glad you're here.
touching the hearts of Arkansans. The passive-aggressive Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you bank at First Security, you're choosing better for yourself and fellow Arkansans. Better service from friendly professionals who really invest in your goals. Better solutions with convenient tools and smart resources. And better support for the things that matter to you, as well as the communities that matter to us all. Because finding your better at First Security makes Arkansas better too. First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
2025 is here, and Fayetteville Auto Park is making it easier than ever to elevate your drive during our New Year's sale. Every pre-owned vehicle, hundreds and hundreds to choose from, all with clearance pricing for a limited time. That's right, Fayetteville Auto Park has clearance priced every used car, truck, and SUV in stock. One-owner trades, budget buys, luxury vehicles, off-lease cars, even certified pre-owned, with special finance rates and warranties up to 100,000 miles. Buy now at all 4 Fayetteville Auto Park locations. That's Acura of Fayetteville, Honda of Fayetteville, Toyota of Fayetteville, and Chevrolet of Fayetteville. It's time to drive in 2025, and no one makes it easier than Fayetteville Auto Park. Take advantage of clearance pricing on every pre-owned vehicle now during our New Year's sale. Limited time only at Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. FayettevilleAutoPark.com.
When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
If you live near Alex, Alma, Branch, Bloomer, Mountain Burg, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect Internet may be available to you right now. Wave is now serving a few non-member areas and adding more in the coming months. Check availability online. Sign up.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I was really dorky. As I'm sure it's a
Is
shock
that-
for you guys to
is
realize
that right?
Oh, I was a total dork.
What a great story.
No, now I'm an older dork.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Yeah, you don't really seem that way, Chuck.
I am dorky.
Yeah, well, you handle it well.
Well,
You
I
know,
try
it's
to
kinda
hide
like-
it.
it's kinda
I
like
try to
dressing.
hide it by, faking cool.
You dress for your body.
I do.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Thank
that's,
you.
That's how I go. You do
boy,
a
that
great
is as
job.
backhanded a compliment as you will ever get from someone.
No, some people just
he
know how to
dresses
do
for
it.
his body.
Some people just know how to do it. It's just true.
That's awful.
It's just true.
Hey, you were talking about that statue of Bruce Pearl a minute ago in my mind. All right, is he going to be wearing a polo that's a size too small in the statue, or are they going to put on a polo that fits?
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
that's the example of not dressing for
That's
your
right.
body.
Bruce Pearl does not dress for his body.
He could do himself.
He thinks he is.
He could do himself so many more favors.
See, he is lost.
There's a reason why you're wearing a shirt, and it's not so we can see what it would look like if you didn't have one on.
He is lost in this 50 and 60-year-old guy thing where they still think, I mean, your chest is not a barrel chest anymore. It's not. it's pretty much impossible at that age. When you wear those tight shirts, it doesn't look like, man, that guy's been working out. It looks like, hey, man, he's
hide the gut.
Well, I'm just saying.
Hide the man boobs.
I'm just saying.
Or go get the sweat in the edge.
He just needs
or
a
all the
larger
above.
size. He just needs a larger size is all. I've been there. I'm not
That
casting
is
stone.
No, that's the example of dressing for your body.
Well, thank you.
Like,
for
you
that.
know, and I wasn't just specifically talking to you. I was just saying, like, we
Yes,
would
you
never
were.
know.
As a matter of fact, you were.
We would
You
never know
said
that you were a
dress
dork.
well for your body.
It was an analogy about you being a dork. You don't
Didn't
come off
sound
like
like
a
an
dork. You come
analogy.
off very cool. Like you, I mean, people listen to this show because of your coolness.
Because I wear loose clothes. Is
No,
that what you're trying
that
to
was
say?
the analogy.
I wear comfortable clothes.
That was the analogy about how you handle your personality in a way that is not
Okay,
dorky.
all right.
And it's very well read, but it comes off as clever and funny and wildly entertaining.
Hey,
quite
you
frankly.
know our you backtrack as well as anybody out there. I mean,
It's a
I got to
seven-step
give you
drop.
credit for that.
Seven-step
that is
drop,
a
get the ball
seven-step
out.
drop. I
Yeah.
will give you that.
Hey,
I will
taxes
give you
are
that.
hard. Filing's easy, though, when you use H&R Block. You walk in or make an appointment, get 100% accuracy, and your max refund guaranteed. Tax season's here. Take the 70 years of tax expertise they have at H&R Block and put it to work for you. Brent is in Searcy. It's Monday. Make a point Monday after the Hogs win. 2-1 they go in baseball down at is it Global Life?
Globe
Life. I like to say. I like to just add things into words. You know, Globe Life, where the Rangers play a beautiful ballpark, and then the Hogs win in basketball. And here's Brent to talk about it all.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, that was just an eloquent lead-in. That's all. Like a lot of hosts would just be like, "Here's Brent and Cersei." I just treated you like you were part of the show.
Like royalty. There you go. I appreciate it, Bo.
Royalty.
You know, I'm going to send, before I get going on what I want to talk, I'm going to send my tailor to Bruce Pearl. I'm going to tell him he needs to go like me and wear a 3X just to make sure you got plenty of space to move and groove.
The old Brett Bielema move.
Yeah,
Or a tent.
A giant windsuit.
It's like a tent.
Yeah.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yeah. Got room for everybody in here.
What I wanted to talk to, are y'all, can you hear me?
Yes, Brent.
We're just interjecting and talking along with you. Keep going.
Okay. What I got two comments I want to make, and Razorback baseball, great. The only thing that's not great about that, they should never play in a tournament, but the only way you can watch them is on Flow Sports, because that is the worst service God has ever created. I'm just going to tell you.
Well, God didn't create it. He created the people that did create it.
Flow Sports, and I had the app on my TV.
But if you don't have it, then you got no video. So I'll take the crappy service over no service because it's good enough to be able to watch the game. It's just not what we're used to.
I'd rather listen to Phil. I'd rather listen to Phil 10 out of 10 times.
Well, that's an option.
Do it.
That's
what I did.
You had options.
That's what I did. I've got to admit, last year Flow TV expired. I didn't know it, and but I found it out. And
you went to look this year and you go, "Oh, I'm not doing that again."
That's exactly right. That's exactly what happened. It wasn't there.
I'm not going down this path.
Sorry, Brent. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
How about Coach Cal and our basketball team when we have all the reason in the world to let go of the rope, and here we are. We got 4 games left, right?
That's right.
We got a chance to win 20 games this season.
Well, mathematically, you're right. I mean, if they stay hot and win them all, I mean, yeah, you could. You could get there. It's going to take some doing, and you may have to win in the postseason too. But yeah, you could.
Yes, sir. And let's give our Lady Razorback basketball team some credit. They're Mike Neighbors is consistent. Lost 2 this week by a total of 80 points. That's consistency.
Well, sometimes you got one arm tied behind your back and the other one's pretty close, and that's kind of where they are right now.
Whose fault? I don't know whose fault
Well,
that is.
Brent, it's never one thing, but I'm at.
Would like to have
well, how about?
Job because the chances
Oh my gosh,
fired
Brent, real quick. Do you have any clue what happened with women's basketball, like during the off season? I mean, I don't mean it insulting. I'm asking a question.
They lost every good player they had because they
for
were
like
poached,
$5. Yeah,
because they were poached by other schools
for like $5 and a sandwich.
Look, Brent,
I know that's what's ridiculous. Do we not have any NIL money?
They
for
didn't.
Women's sports?
They did not have NIL money on that women's basketball program in any sort of significance that would be relative to anybody else in the league.
But you know what? Mike Neighbors does have a great job because he will not be fired, I do not believe.
Look, Mike Neighbors doesn't need anybody here to defend his past, what he's been able to do. I mean, he's been to Final Four. I thought he was a great hire when they made it. Very few people have had any success with the women's basketball program at Arkansas. And there was a time when Gary Blair was the head coach. Mike Neighbors was on his staff. Vic Schaefer was on his staff. Vic Schaefer's gone on to do amazing things at other places. They got rid of Gary Blair. Gary Blair went to Texas A&M, and all he did was win a national championship and make himself a Hall of Famer. But the challenges with that program are infinite. And then when you throw on top of it, as Chuck alluded to, you got one hand tied behind your back, and I have no problem telling you Mike Neighbors is a really good friend. And I'll say right in the next sentence, he's a really good friend to a lot of people because he's a really good dude. And results are results or lack thereof or what happens, and maybe he will, maybe he won't be here next year. But the idea of, it's just like he woke up one day and he couldn't coach anymore and couldn't get any players is not all his fault. There's a lot more to the story. So I'm not going to sit here and poke fun and allow you to do it without calling in some accountability and reality to the situation.
I was there yesterday and actually filled in for Phil yesterday, and they played Oklahoma. I mean, they trailed by 8 at the half, and then got outscored by 32 in the second half. So I mean, clearly it was it was 2 different games. How all the new revenue share money is distributed is going to determine the fates of a lot of programs, not just here but all over the country. That's going to be one of the debates: is where does the money go in terms of men's sports, women's sports? How do you satisfy Title IX? How do all these things work themselves out? I'm not sure, just to be honest, I'm not sure that there's a wider chasm anywhere between the haves and the have-nots in women's basketball. There are programs out there like LSU and South Carolina and others who've got legitimate money to spend on a roster. And there are programs out there like Arkansas who have virtually nothing. And there are more programs out there with virtually nothing in women's basketball than there are in college football, men's basketball, baseball, pick your sport on the men's side. My feeling, and I know this is there's going to be people that disagree with this, but you either fund it where you can be competitive or you quit. That's the way I view it. Now, I know they're not going to quit, and I'm not suggesting that they actually should, but I'm saying that if you're not going to play the game, then quit, because otherwise you're wasting money. You are wasting money if you're not in. If you don't have enough money to be in, then don't do it. It's just kind of like everyday life. And I know that's not going to be a popular opinion with some, but what I would like to see happen, just so we're clear, is I would like to see it funded. I'm not saying you got to fund it to the point of
Right.
South Carolina and LSU, but you ought to be able to fund it to the point of a lot of the programs in the league that are kicking your butt every time you play. And maybe the revenue share will help there. I mean, maybe it will. I don't know.
I'm not saying that's the only problem either, but you don't even have a seat at the table if you're not going to get to a level of competitiveness in the rest of the league. We've talked about this in every other sport, particularly football and men's basketball. NIL can eliminate you. It doesn't give you wins. It doesn't make you a top 5 team, but you automatically eliminate yourself when you take yourself basically out of the league.
You said something about Neighbors a minute ago that I noticed yesterday. Look, they've had an awful season. They're 9-20. They're 2-12 in the league. They still play for him. They do. Now, they're not as good as the teams they're playing. They're not. They had no chance to beat Oklahoma yesterday. Frankly, I thought playing them within 8 at halftime, I mean, that was a victory right there. But that is one thing I noticed yesterday. They do play for him. It's hard to play when you know, I mean, these kids aren't stupid. It's hard to play when you know you don't have a realistic chance to win. But they went out there and did that for a good stretch of the game yesterday.
Brought to you in part by First Security Bank, the official bank of the Chuck and Bo Show, fsbank.com. You can find them online. Convenient, friendly locations all over our state, making banking better for you. Loving the Razorbacks, loving our Kansans, and making our state a better place. First Security Bank, member FDIC. 8:29. Good morning. Or 6:28. Wow. I just fast forwarded 2 hours.
That'd be nice.
Wow. 6:29. Good morning.
Like, I think you should look at yourself today in the mirror and say, what's wrong with me?
Okay, I will.
I'm not talking about you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge. If you're having issues with your gutters or drainage around the house, you need to call Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated with over 30 years of experience. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drains. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, and every job comes with a 20-year guarantee. Hog Trough Gutters services all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Log on to their website, hoggutters.com, to find out more. That's hog, Gutters.com.
Yeah, does Chuck sleep that much? Because it just sometimes,
He's old, so when you get old, you don't really sleep as much.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas is going to the Sweet 16. Ace for the Elite Eight. Arkansas has won. Arkansas is going to the Elite Eight for the first time since 1995.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, a Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, a Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal.
Call or text today at 479-719-5605.
That's a Cut Above, 719-5605.
The Great American Conference Basketball Championships are coming to Fort Smith, March 6th through the 9th at Fort Smith Southside High School. See the best men's and women's teams in the GAC battle it out for an automatic bid into the NCAA Division II tournament. Get your tickets and more information for the Great American Conference Tournament at greatamericanconference.com. It's the GAC Basketball Championships, March 6th through the 9th in Fort Smith at Southside High School.
Are you using Facebook as your website? Here are 3 reasons why that's a bad idea. 1, not everyone has it, which means you're missing out on customers. 2, you're not in control, Facebook is. You can't customize the look or fully brand your page. 3, unless you pay for ads, your page isn't getting seen. Let the Modular Orange team help you own your space online with a fully custom website that's only $95 per month. Go to modularorange.com to find out how. That's modularorange.com.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is already chipping away at 2025 with Joe's Chips and Salsa. Made with Tex-Mex house-made salsa. Made daily with fresh veggies, even carrots. Try their sizzling fajitas and crunchy tacos. Every Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesday. Joe's has great enchiladas with homemade sauce. It's the best around. Plus a full bar and TVs all around the restaurant. The best Tex-Mex and even better service at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. I'm with Ethan at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith. Ethan, what promotion do we have going on?
We're putting on a 5K challenge. If you sign up during the month of February and ride at least 5,000 or more miles by September 27th, you'll win a gift card and a t-shirt. Riders who accumulate at least 5,000 miles and complete 3 check-ins will earn a $75 Wheeler Power Sports gift card. Fuel up, sign up, and hit the road. See our Facebook page for full details.
Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
We just went through our first Sunday since the summer without football. Everything was so strange yesterday. I know this is the time of year when you get things done on Sundays. Let me just state for the record, I don't like getting things done on Sunday. I like laying around on Sunday. It's a day of rest. It's biblical.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
How was your weekend?
It was good. It was basketball filled.
Yeah, you
I
actually
will admit
called
that. It was
the
basketball
women's game
filled
yesterday.
But it was a good
for Phil.
weekend. It was a good weekend.
So what'd you do after the game? Did you go outside, go for a walk?
No, I went home and kicked back in the recliner and began to watch television.
The Mexico Open, the PGA Mexico Open.
I lasted about 15 minutes and woke up about 6 o'clock.
Oh.
So that was the remainder of my day.
That's your Sunday.
Yeah.
Didn't get anything done, just got the rest you needed.
I don't know about that. I'm just saying that, no, I did not get anything done after the game yesterday.
Well, that's perfect then. That's perfect for you.
It wasn't bad.
I don't do well with that.
Yeah.
Like when it's nice outside, it's hard to kind of be too relaxing inside, especially this time of year. I got to get outside.
I could not live.
I had to get outside.
I could not live.
Well, thankfully you don't have to. You're not the only one that feels that way. By the way, I mean those are facts. Those are just. I don't want to think about that, but I'm actually glad we don't live together.
Yeah, I am
and
too.
I think it's good for both of us.
Makes us appreciate one another every morning.
These 3 hours a day that we spend together are quite enough.
Yeah. Pretty much.
877-377-6963. It's Make a Point Monday. We're reacting to the weekend. A lot of things happened. Wally wrote a column on the 50-50 raffle. Carlton Saff is back on Twitter yelling at everybody, trying to make enough noise to get all his gambling stuff passed that he wants for his app, cloaking it in the idea that it's all for the Hogs, and the Hogs want nothing to do with it. It's really wild. You can waste a weekend on social media.
Oh, very easily.
Yeah, so
very easily.
Yeah, let's not, I mean, you're
avoid that.
You're making yourself out to be. I just got to call you out right here.
That's fine.
You guys, I got to go exercise. I got to go work out. I got to go walk. I got to do. But, I spend my whole weekend on social media.
Well, Chuck, there's a thing called spend a little time doing this and spend a little time doing that.
I got you.
But
Gotta
in
fill
the
your
interest
buckets,
of the
I
show,
understand.
I got to spend part of Sunday reading the news, and news comes on various platforms, including social media. And you take the.
I was active yesterday morning. I sent you guys texts, show ideas. 11 o'clock in the morning yesterday before I went to the arena.
Nobody said you didn't. This was
personal attacks,
this was me.
man.
This is why we can't live together.
I mean,
I'm not attacking you at all.
Jeez Louise.
JR's in Shady Grove. JR, bail me out, man. You're on the Chuck and Bo show.
It's Insecurity Monday. Fire away.
Go ahead,
Hanging up on
JR. Yeah, I know.
Two questions. Zero update on him, injury-wise, heard anything on him, or Gage Wood, anything on him? And then the other thing, that game, the baseball game down in Globe Life, I'm sure they do it at Baum Walker, but does that music play like that between every pitch in all college? I mean, is that allowed to do, or do we do that? It just seemed like it was really excessive yesterday when I was listening to the game. So.
I have to let somebody else speak.
Well,
on that. I didn't get to see
honest,
any
I had
of
it
the
on
game yesterday. Yeah.
This is where I tell you I was at church and didn't watch the game yesterday. You wanted to hear that too?
Yeah, he didn't believe that either.
No, I do think it's a little bit different environment in that pro ballpark than you get at Razorback Stadium.
You've got stuff between every pitch.
The music.
at big league games.
So the music in between pitches for the most part at Arkansas is usually the walk-up songs.
Yeah.
They have other things they do, but yeah, it was probably more excessive than usual, although I didn't see yesterday's game. Gage Wood came out of the game when he started warming up in the third inning and felt something that didn't feel quite right in his shoulder. Van Horn said after the game he would get MRI'd, and the doctors felt good about it, but he's going to get an MRI. That'll likely be today, so there's no update on him. Theo came out of the game, the win over Missouri, early.
That's a day-to-day thing, too. And, Cal's radio shows tonight. He'll probably, if there's something to update there, I would imagine that he would. Lots of times when things like that happen, you want an instant diagnosis, but it's going to be a day or two before you really know. I don't think it's anything where he's like out. My sense is right now with Adu and lots of players around college basketball, man. I mean, you're at the end of February. You're hurting. I mean, look at the way Theo plays. I mean, I've noticed more than once this year that he just looked like his body was battered. So that's a long way of saying we'll probably find out more today. I will say after the game, just kind of being around, everybody, I didn't hear any alarms going off. I'll put it like that. But again, all that speculation, and I would imagine we'll find out more today.
Theo, I'm trying to find this. I saw Hog Stats tweeted it. He's got 500 points and joins a pretty select group of former Razorbacks with 500 points, a bunch of rebounds. I'm trying to find what the stat was. Here it is. Now the 8th player in Razorback history. This guy's been here a year, not even. 8th player in Razorback history, 400 points, 150-plus rebounds, 50-plus assists, 40-plus steals, 20-plus blocks in a season. Joins Todd Day, Oliver Miller, Corliss Williamson, Derek Hood, J.D. Notte, Jalen Williams, Anthony Black.
All of them were pretty good players. And, I'm amazed at some of the things Thiero does, the completeness of his game. He's not a guy that you look at and say, man, that is a smooth cat. I mean, some basketball players you watch and there's fluidity to everything they do. Thiero's not really one of those guys, although he does have a complete game. And that's the thing that to me is impressive about him is that, when I watched him at Kentucky, he was a good player. Yeah, he was a good player. I wouldn't necessarily categorize him as, the best player on those teams. He wasn't called upon to do everything that he's been called upon to do here. And he's literally been called upon to do everything here. And I'm not surprised by that. That guy competes. He is a competitor. And that's why, when somebody asks, how's he doing? He's fighting through it. And he'll fight through it, and he'll find a way.
He just plays
That's right.
really, really hard.
He does.
All out, all the time, and it's controlled aggression. Sometimes when you see a guy play like he does, it's out of control. He plays as close to out of control, but under control, as anybody that I've ever seen.
He's fearless
play at
and he's
level.
Relentless. And, hey, I see some Adu Thiero and Billy Richmond when I watch Billy play. And Billy's more athletic. But that's the mindset. And Thiero's got it. And I'm not surprised that his, as they say, he fills up the stat sheet every night because that's just the kind of player he is.
If you want to weigh in, it's 877-377-6963. Call, text. You can take us anywhere on the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell. I was going to respond to Aaron in Springdale, who said just because Mike Neighbors is my friend doesn't make him a good coach. And I was going to say to Aaron, that's not what I said. But then I realized I have a better thought, which is, yes, it does mean he's a good coach, because I would never be friends with somebody who can't coach. Would you?
That's right. That's right. He's an FOB, friend of Bo.
That actually is what makes him a good coach.
That's certainly part of it.
Yeah,
he's a good guy.
100%.
Well, it's part of the reason his players play for it.
I just am amazed sometimes by what I say and what people hear. And it's not always the same thing. And by the way, I'm not saying it's not my fault either, because I've been told otherwise often. Hey, big weekend at our house.
Yeah.
Well, we had a gender reveal. For
Did you reveal
my
your
son.
gender?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I did make the announcement that would be the one and only for this grandkid.
All right.
But it's a boy. I'm gonna have a grandson.
Hey.
And King and Micah, my son and daughter-in-law, got into their new house.
Yeah,
like the day they got their keys, they went right in.
Isn't that how it works? Isn't that how it works?
That's how I did it.
Yeah, well, for some people, you got your previous lease or whatever, and they still had, they could have, slow played it. But snow and all, man, it was like, screw that.
Get in, man.
We get in the U-Haul or just in. And so Weichert, they did it, Chuck. It was like a 30-day process.
I know.
Start to finish.
That's how it works. They'll find you a home. If you're looking, they'll find you a home. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, will do that. They've been turning houses into homes for a long time, since 1978. And they'll do that for you, just like they did it for Micah, and just like they've done it for thousands of other people. Or if you're selling a home, they'll get you what you want. And they've got lots of buyers out there that are anxious to buy your home. And they're going to get you from contract to close. And it's going to happen sometimes more quickly than you'd imagine, because these guys know what they're doing. They're real estate professionals. And that's what you get every single time that you partner with Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. They're in Northwest Arkansas, Washington, and Benton counties, Fort Smith. They've got a great office in Branson, and you can check it out at WeichertGriffin.com.
It's in the 30s, a little above freezing most places, getting a little warmer. What's the high today? Do we know? It's going to be up to
64.
64. Oh, I love it. That's what a great day. Monday, 6:45. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, well, congratulations. Hey, Chuck, I made some good calls today. You sure did. You sure did.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass.
Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Discover the Stonebreaker Hotel, where handcrafted elegance meets modern comfort. Relax in beautifully designed rooms, or book your next reservation at the Stonebreaker Lounge and Restaurant, where you can satisfy cravings with fresh, seasonal takes on traditional favorites. Open daily from 5 to 9 p.m. For more information, log on to stonebreakerhotel.com, located on Markham Road in Fayetteville, where you'll find the Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant. Ready or not, it is tax season, but luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit GoPaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
Being a Razorback fan isn't just about the game. It's about the community, the tradition, and the moments that matter. At Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, they understand the importance of those moments. That's why they offer a selection of fine jewelry that goes beyond the ordinary, just like our Hogs. Visit Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers, where you'll find that perfect piece to celebrate your Razorback spirit and the special moments in your life.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. If you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
So I spent yesterday, you mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
It's the Salesman Showdown at Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal. Never seen a sale like this. Troy, you're pulling out all the stops, and so are your salespeople this month.
Yes, definitely. You know, Tommy, I've been telling everybody, we are taking deals from now until the end of the month that we've never taken before. You know, these sales guys, they're competing. They're doing everything that they can to earn your business. It is the Salesman Showdown. I mean, heck, first place gets a vacation and a gift card. We're giving away 75-inch TV, a big tool set. I mean, they really are. They are doing everything that they can to earn your business. So come down here and see us. You know, one of the big things we're doing right now, maximize your tax return. We are going to be matching your down payment up to $1,500. So if you've got, let's say you just got $500, that turns into $1,000. $1,000's $2, and $1,500 turns into $3. So come and see us.
All right, it's the Salesman Showdown. We're going to be telling you more. Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal, and online at harryrobinson.com.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sportsbook in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Hey, Todd Richardson here at First Financial Mortgage. My mortgage lender, Ethan Adamson. Ethan, congratulations. Over 300 five-star reviews.
Yeah, Todd, we pride ourselves on delivering a five-star service during the entire mortgage process.
What sets you apart from everyone else?
I think communication, how quickly we work, we get you closed on time or early. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Great point, Bo.
Thank you.
I'm Chuck. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. I'm going to start taking credit. Like when you make a great point, I'm going to call myself
All
Chuck.
right, fair enough.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
So are the Hogs going to get in or not? I mean, to me, it's pretty simple. I mean, you go around the state right now and you talk about the Razorbacks. So they're getting in? They're going to get in or not?
We felt like it was a 5-game series, like a playoff series, like they have in the NBA. You got to win 3 of 5. Now,
Best of 5.
You're playing different teams, but you got to win best of 5. Well, they got off to a good start. They got 1 win under their belt, need 2 more of the next 4. At least that's what we conventionally are thinking. But Bart is in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room, and I paid attention. And I don't always do that with Bart. I paid attention, and I was catching scores while doing laundry over the weekend, as I continue to tell you about my life. And I see Vanderbilt's winning, and I see Oklahoma's winning, and I'm like, this isn't what we need on that bubble watch for Arkansas. So where do we land?
We don't care about Bart Torvik. We want to know about Bart Pullman.
Bart Torvik's whatever. Even though that's what the committee, they look at Bart Torvik.
What's the story, Bart?
Well, so Arkansas is in a pretty good spot right now, right? In terms of their predictive metrics and
playing his own music.
I was going to say.
Well, I mean,
that's
look,
like playing the piano and singing. Go ahead, though.
That's special.
Wow.
It's talent.
So, look, Arkansas is good in their predictive metrics, the metrics that the committee uses to seed the teams for the most part. The problem is their get in the tournament resume still isn't that great. Like their wins above the bubble, their strength of record, those numbers aren't great still relative to the other teams that are on the bubble. Now, part of that is really easy to explain.
So are they getting in or not?
Turn the music down. Tell us.
I think as things stand right now, Arkansas will, yes, make the NCAA tournament, but you've got to go win games, and you've got to play your way off the bubble. Really,
well, I mean, what I just heard from him was the ice cream would taste great if we had it. Like, it's great, but we don't know if we're going to get it.
Like I think they're really close right now.
They got to get in the tournament.
I think they're really close.
Right. They're squarely on the bubble, and the only thing that's going to change that is winning games. Now, this Texas game on Wednesday is a very big game because right now Texas is probably getting one of the last 4 byes in the tournament, while Arkansas is one of the
tournament?
No, in the NCAA tournament. Arkansas is one of the last 4 teams in the field, I would say, as of today. If you go and beat Texas on Wednesday night, you probably switch. And you're probably safely in the
field at that point. What do you mean by a bye in the NCAA?
They're one of the last 4 teams in before
I just think
the
that's confusing
playoff.
when you call it a bye.
Yeah, sorry. That's just what they call it.
Yeah, that's what Lenardi puts down. Go ahead.
They would be safely in the field at that point. Now,
if they beat Texas,
I think you still have to go win games after that. Like this is something that's going to change on a game to game and daily basis as other teams play games as well. There are a couple to watch tonight. Nebraska, a team on the bubble, they host 12th ranked Michigan. And North Carolina, another bubble team, they're at Florida State. So you want to be cheering for Michigan for obvious reasons because Arkansas beat them. You also want to cheer for Florida State. I don't think that's going to work out very well, though.
They're not very good.
No, they're having a rough year.
Okay, so Bubble Watch is daily now. But Arkansas did what they had to do on Saturday. Now they got to do it again on Wednesday. This thing's far from over in terms of, like, you've actually punched your ticket.
2 huge weeks, 4 big games. But here's the thing. It's not just Arkansas playing 4 big, hard, tough games over the next 2 weeks. I mean, it's going to be everybody in the league.
We'll keep you up to date in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room with Bart. #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas, Chevy of Fayetteville in the Fayetteville Auto Park. Good morning.
With Oaklawn Sports, the action never stops and the season is never over. It's now easier than ever to wager on your favorite sports all year long. Go from football to basketball to baseball to golf. Bet on what you want, when you want, with the brand you trust. Oaklawn Sports even offers ways to bet on cricket, rugby, table tennis, and more. If it's a sport, chances are you can wager on it. Plus, it's now simpler to deposit and withdraw money from your account. Bet all year long with Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go.
You know, I want Texas to lose. Yeah, I want them to rot in hell.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
It's time to start the year strong at Heartland Honda Power Sports and Marine. Don't miss our first huge sale in 2025, featuring unbeatable discounts and exclusive incentives on many of your favorite Honda rides, like Honda Ranchers, Honda Pioneers, and Honda Goldwing, plus so much more. Whether you're tackling trails or cruising in style, we've got the perfect ride for you. Visit Heartland Honda in Springdale today and make 2025 your best year yet. Heartland Honda, work hard, play hard. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet, eye protection, close side nets and doors, and always wear seatbelts. Honda ATVs side-by-sides are 16 years and older.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will be in and out of the clouds. Our high temperatures this afternoon into the lower 60s. Clear skies overnight, dropping down upper 30s to near 40. Tuesday, right back to sun, a high upper 60s to near 70, and we could see a few showers on Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Touchdown, Arkansas! How did he get that wide open?
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh-made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. Cecil, this is the one-stop shop.
Yes, Jazzco Graphics Design, the one-stop shop, 2415 Midland, for your customer buck order.
Why ESPN 95.3?
I really enjoy listening in, and it keeps my day going while I'm at work. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
You know, Bo, you're young, you're an entrepreneur. That's why I can't understand why a veteran, well-respected, I mean, iconic figure in Arkansas athletics like Chuck could be sucked back into the pool of talk radio. I'm sure there's money involved somewhere, and I support that. I'm a capitalist.
Yeah, it was his idea to do the show. He dragged me along.
That's right.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
I just dragged Bo in.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's start on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still happy.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
I will admit, as I age, I get a little more sentimental. But Saturday night, having said all that.
Wonderful, by the way.
Yeah, having said all that, Saturday night was just one of those feel-good nights. You know, Arkansas beats Missouri in basketball. The nighty Final Four team is there. They bring them out at halftime. You know, they all get standing ovations. Mike Anderson's back. Coach Richardson's back. I mean, it was a stars kind of night. It was one of those who's who nights at Bud Walton Arena. Place was full. Team wins. Meanwhile, you got 10, 12, 15,000 people down there in Arlington for the baseball series. That's kind of replaced the old trip to Reunion Arena for the Southwest Conference basketball tournament for a lot of people. And it was just a good weekend all the way around. We've not had as many of those as maybe we'd like. And I'm sure something will happen this week to make some people mad. But I thought Saturday was a pretty good day.
I've seen some people giving Cal credit for embracing the past, embracing the Razorback tradition, embracing the great teams of the past. We've seen it happen with Nolan Richardson, like right after he got here. In fact, he talked about calling Nolan prior to taking the job. How did he feel about it? There's a respect factor with him, an appreciation with him, I think, for those that have gone before him here. And people have pointed that out, and I think rightfully so. And then Cal talked a little bit about that after the game.
Hunter and I talked, we got to start retiring some of these numbers. You know what I'm saying? Because this program is not about me and the coaches. Even though we've done what we're supposed to do, we haven't made a basket. This program is about those players, and that's when you put numbers in the stands or in the rafters. And so that's the next phase of this. Just keep honoring the teams and what they've done. I've got a bust going in my office of Coach Richardson, Coach Sutton. A nice bust that they're going to be in there. I'm on their shoulders, but these players are on all these players' shoulders. So it was great to see, and great that they're honored. I appreciate the university and the athletic department and Hunter doing what they did.
The connection there is important. You know, connecting all of that, I feel like we've talked about sometimes the game atmosphere, the game production doesn't always hit, doesn't always go the way that you want it to. That didn't seem to be the case on Saturday. Everything was kind of just right. And Mike Anderson being there and getting the ovation he got, he was on our show last week. Yeah, he got a great ovation at the game. Houston, we're getting text here. We
Houston
left
was
Houston's name. Houston Nutt's brother, Dickie,
Yeah, it's on the
is
Missouri staff.
on the Missouri staff. There's been some pictures that have circulated from Houston and Cal having a moment. They're both smiling.
Well, I was down there around all of it when they came in, and it was really a nice moment. It was not one of those times when, people that might not like a particular coach were yelling things from the stands like sometimes they do when they're actually still the coach. And Houston was down there and he visited with Dickie, and Dickie had cancer, and a lot of people were really worried about Dickie, and he's recovered from that, and his family was there, and all of them were there, and Cal came out obviously with the team, and they may have had, I didn't see that part, but they may have had a moment later, and then Mike Anderson came in, and he had a good seat center court, as he should have. And he was well received. And I think for fans, sometimes you need a moment where you tell yourself or remind yourself that the good still outweighs the bad. There are moments that, we all get angry, and I get that. But the good still outweighs the bad. I just thought it was a feel-good night. When you talk about retiring numbers of players, now that you can wear more numbers than you used to wear. I mean, by that, you can go 5, 6, 7, 8. You can go 6, 7, 8, 9. You can wear numbers that you couldn't wear 5 or 10 years ago. Maybe it's got a little more validity. Ron Brewer Sr. wore number 10 too, and he went to the Final Four too. So when you start retiring numbers in the name of a player, that's you better have some legitimate debate before you do that. Now, the one thing that I will say, and look, we've been remiss on this for a long time. I mean, sometimes when you self-evaluate, you got to admit we've dropped the ball. The history of our program is not reflected in the banners. It's not reflected in the museum. We should have done over the years, and I'm not knocking the current people now. I'm saying, look, that building's been there 30 years. Over the years, we've never updated a lot of the things that pay tribute to former players. And when I say we, I mean, I guess them, if you want to get right down to it. But there needs to be more done in that area. He's right about that. Now, we can debate about whether or not a player's number ought to be retired or if there should just be a banner up there in that player's name. But his point's well made. And I've always believed that if you want former players to come back, if you want them to give you money, put their picture up on the wall. They'll come back because they're going to show their wife, they're going to show their kids, they're going to show their mother and dad. You don't put something up on the wall to acknowledge their time there, I think they're less inclined to come back. So I do believe that things like that are important. Now, whether or not, you retired this number in the name of that player, I don't know. But I think his remarks were very well intended, and I think he's on to something.
You're big on history and nostalgia and back when and all these things, not at the exclusion of what's happening today, but in that it's important, in your opinion, and it is in mine as well. But I want to just real quick, Chuck, why is it so important? Like, explain the importance. You touched on some of it there, of being connected to the past.
This is how we mark time.
Does it help the future?
This is how we mark time. It's how we've always marked time. And this is going to sound really corny. You can't know where you're going until you know where you've been. The idea that it starts when I get here is the dumbest idea on the face of the earth. It didn't start when you got here. People were doing this a long time before you got here. And sometimes when staffs and administrations change, they kind of treat it like, well, all right, we can get started now. It's like, well, we've been doing this about 100 years. So I do think that those things ignite what makes sports, and that is nostalgia. It's remembering what we did as a child. If you remember the 1990 run to the Final Four, which I do, seeing those guys brought back memories of a really fun part of my life. And if you were there and if you were of age to remember Nolan's great teams, when you see those guys there, it makes you feel good about the fact that you've loved them your whole life. Now, you watch them age, and sometimes that's kind of weird. You know, you see, I looked at those guys Saturday night. I wouldn't want to take on Arlen Bowers right now, but he's about the, you know, he was the one that, like, man, Arlen looks like he can still play. The other dudes looked a little older. Let me mention a couple of things too. We had some questions. In fact, we've had a text or two this morning. Why was Oliver Miller not there? Why was Lee Mayberry not there? Lee Mayberry is coaching high school basketball over in Tulsa. And I believe I don't know if it was a playoff game or just a big game, but they had a game on Saturday night. And ironically, he was coaching a team that was coached by Nolan Richardson's grandson. So he was involved in that. Oliver Miller's sick. And if you're the praying type, you might say a prayer for Big O. He's ill, and it's not going well. And that's the reason he wasn't here.
Yeah. It's really something, you know, to be able to have that moment and pull it all together. And it's unfortunate the situation with Big O and that Mayberry couldn't be there. But that was, you know, everybody loves those moments. And it was a big one on Saturday, and the win makes it all that much better.
You know what I was really proud of? I was proud of the ovation Mike Anderson got, because aside from Nolan, it was the loudest ovation when the team was introduced. And I thought that was nice. I'll just put it that way. I thought that was a nice moment.
Reacting to the weekend, 877-377-6963. So much more to get into. We'll get to your calls, text coming up. And don't forget, it is tax season. Ready or not, tax season's here. It's not too late to get help. Luckily, H&R Block's here to put 70 years of tax prep experience and expertise to work for you. So breathe easy and file with confidence at an H&R Block office, which is just around the corner. 713, good morning.
Can we just say, for all of you who get up early in the morning and you work so hard, man, we're glad you're here. We just really appreciate all the work you do to make Arkansas better.
You talking to me?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, PRECIDENT. We'd love to help.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Pascal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit gopascal.com today to schedule your service. Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
There's nothing we enjoy saying more than I told you so.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. 877-
It's the Salesman Showdown at Harry Robinson's Saddlesall Ford. Troy's got his staff competing with each other for great prizes for them. Here's the best deal for you out there listening. Matching down payments and up to $13,000 off during Truck Month on Ford F-150s.
Yes, and Tommy, that's not all that we have going on. The new Expeditions, the 24s that we have left in stock, up to $10,000. We've only got 2 of those left. These 24 F-150s are up to $13,000 off of MSRP, and we're going to match your down payment of up to $1,500. So take advantage of it. Right now is the time to buy.
And Expeditions, if you need a full-size SUV to haul the family, haul whatever, these Expeditions are deeply discounted.
Yes, and not only are they discounted, we're going to match your down payment of up to $1,500. So your $1,500 now turns into $3,000.
Matching down payments up to $1,500. It's the Salesman Showdown. Harry Robinson, Saddlesall Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Saddlesall.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
The Great American Conference Basketball Championships coming to Fort Smith, March 6th through the 9th at Fort Smith Southside High School. See the best men's and women's teams in the GAC. Battle it out for an automatic bid into the NCAA Division II tournament. Get your tickets and more information for the Great American Conference Tournament at greatamericanconference.com. It's the GAC Basketball Championships, March 6th through the 9th in Fort Smith at Southside High School.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Oh man, I got revved up.
I know you did. Both of you did.
Yeah. And I'm gonna get revved up on something different than
you
that
guys
segment.
got so fired up, I started sweating. And I wasn't doing anything in that segment.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Phil Knight's 87 today, by the way. 87, Phil Knight. Wow. Man.
That's old.
Nike. National Tortilla Chip Day, if you're thinking about that. And, of course, we don't really do this as much as we used to, but it's National Trading Card Day. I still got I still have a 3-ring binder with a bunch of baseball cards.
It's making a comeback.
No, everything does. It's cyclical.
Trading cards are becoming a big thing.
It's kind of like Chuck in fashion. He's like, if I just hang on to this stuff long enough, it'll be back.
Whenever it comes back in style, I'll be set.
So the baseball team went 2-1 over the weekend in that series at Globe Life, and Arkansas basketball beat Missouri in a big win. Still very much on the bubble. A lot of work left to do. We'll keep you updated on that as we move along game to game, which is what it's going to be. Kevin's in Rogers. Hey, Kevin, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. 7:19. Good morning. Thank you. Good chat. Charlie in Camden. Hey, Charlie. Good morning.
Yeah, I hope mine don't do that. Sorry about that, Kevin. How you guys doing this morning?
Doing okay.
Well, Chuck, I agree with you. It was really exciting the other day, and to see, all the guys come in there and talk to the team as well. Like I say, I heard you guys talked about Big O. He's sick, right? So wanted to send a prayer for him. Yeah, man, it was really cool to see. And, what's funny, they showed Mike Anderson and his wife there at one point in the game, and I think Arkansas had missed a free throw, and somebody grabbed the rebound. You could tell who they were rooting for. I know he coached Missouri, but he was definitely rooting for Arkansas on Saturday, so that was cool to see. But, you talked about, this state and the fans, Chuck, and, what all we've been through. And I want to commend Nellie Davis a little bit for his, I think the last few games, I know he's had a couple of games that he would like to have back there in the last few, but he started to really come on for this team, and I'm proud of him because I think about a guy that has come in with such high expectations, and to be honest, you talk about adversity, he's probably, it has not went maybe exactly how he wanted it to go this year. Of course it hasn't, but, for this team to continue to make some sort of run down the stretch, it's going to take Nellie Davis playing, not necessarily great all the time, but, at a pretty darn high level. And you know what I thought that's really helped him? He's really bought into the defensive end. And compared to earlier in the year, I thought at times he was letting, the fact that he was struggling offensively get to him on the defensive end. All the deflections that he's doing, all the things that he's doing defensively, he is engaged, and he's been playing as well as he's played all year the last few, and I'm really proud of him. And that's what they're going to need from everyone here down the stretch. The defense that this team has been playing against Auburn, they couldn't have played hardly any better defense than they played. And that's what it's going to take. And then when this team gets out in the open court, they're as good as anybody. And before I go, guys, Adutiero, he's okay, right? Was it just cramps, or did he really hurt his hamstring? Anyways, I'll hang up and listen. Y'all have a good one.
It doesn't appear to be serious. We'll find out more probably tonight on Cal Show, but could just be bumps, bruises, a moment in the game.
It's been a long season.
It has. And, some of those things they take a little bit of time and you're back ready to go for the next game. And that's what we certainly are hoping for, that they don't need any injuries. That's for sure.
And I can tell you, as someone who sits right down there, college basketball has never been more physical than it is right now. And these guys' bodies take a beating.
I think we got Kevin and Rogers
Yeah, I think
back.
we got him
Hey,
back.
Kevin, good morning.
Hey, Chuck and Bo, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well, thanks.
Good. Hey, good. Hope you all had a great weekend. Big win on Saturday. Keep going on Tuesday. A couple of comments about the 1990 Final Four team. You know what the best thing was about that season, other than going to the Final Four, is they beat Texas 3 times, a quality Texas team, twice in the regular season and once in the Elite Eight. So I just thought I'll always remember that. You know how hard it is, to beat a team twice, like we saw on Saturday. Usually you get a split with quality teams. I thought that was really cool back in '90, and prayers for the Big O. I do have a comment about earlier in your show. I was driving and then I had to get out, about Mike Neighbors. Bo, you're right. He is a super guy, and he's a good coach. My question is, and I don't know, and maybe Chuck and you can enlighten on this. Obviously, the women's basketball team, I would assume, would get the biggest piece of the pie out of all the women's sports because of the attendance, chance playing in Bud Walton. I don't know. But then I have to look at, if that's the case, softball.
Yeah, but it's not the same. I knew where you were going. It's not even the same. It's just not even the same. No, not in terms of how teams are coming after and poaching, and it's just a completely different animal. I'm not saying it's not any factor at all, but like trying to compare women's basketball to softball and transfer portal and NIL money are just two completely different levels of competition.
Okay, well, because I know we got good coaches all through the whole university. I just wanted to get your take on that.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks for the call, Kevin. Nelson and Harrison, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. I tell you what, it's been great to go to Bud Walton for the Alabama game, for the LSU game. Even though we were, you're anxious because you're like, we've got to beat this team, and you don't know. And then for the Missouri game, and cap it off with the things they did for the 90s team and the way that Mike Anderson and Nolan Richardson got those ovations. Man, I tell you, but everybody got ovations, but it was a lot bigger for Mike Anderson and for Nolan Richardson. And you guys know, the history's there. I love Mike Anderson. I loved him at Missouri. I followed him big time. But the thing of it is this. This university set themselves back when they didn't promote Mike Anderson, and they went and got Stan Heath. Then they tried to rectify it and make up for it by going back later and hurting another coach. So that's why I was mad as a wet hen. or a Hornet or whatever.
You're
they
going
had.
back to when
But
you
I
called
was very happy.
Mike Anderson a microcosm of a piece of crap. Is that what this is? The sort of explanation
Yeah,
of what happened?
And that was exactly what it was. The university at that time was a dumpster fire. So that's exactly what it was.
Have you been losing sleep at night over this?
What?
Have you been losing sleep at night over when you called Mike Anderson that back, 5 or 6, 7 years ago, whenever it
No,
was?
I wasn't losing sleep at night over that because
I just wondered why you
I
were
know John Pelphrey-
sort of unveiling what happened here today.
I know, but the thing of it is I know that John Pelphrey didn't have the best record here, but I'm going to tell you this. The kids that Mike Anderson started with were the kids of John Pelphrey recruited, and those were good kids. And that leads back to the deal with Mike Neighbors. Mike Neighbors has had great seasons here at Arkansas. He had Chelsea Dungy. He had that team. He said, he's had great players. He's had great kids. He's having a bad year. And they got one of the best players in the SEC. Izzy Hickenbottom is one of the best in the whole league. He ain't got all the fringe players, but we've got one of the best players in women's basketball. So, guys, you can go glass half full, you can go glass half empty. But I'm going to tell you something. Mike Neighbors will be the one guy that we need at the head if the women's basketball program is going to get out of this. You can't go fire Mike Neighbors. You can't do that because he's got success here with players in the past. That place, I've been to that place for a women's basketball game when they had 4,000 or 5,000, and it wasn't a screaming kids' day.
Thanks, Nelson. Chuck, I never know what's going to happen when we come in here. And this has been...
Nelson was all over the road.
This has been a... we went through the woods at a side-by-side here.
I know.
On that call right
I
there.
know.
We were like cloud nine.
But when you and I have conversations, I go all over the road. Sometimes you do too.
It's
so
true,
I mean, it's it's a microcosm of life. Use one of those. Was it Nelson that used the microcosm phrase?
Yeah, he had
that.
a very it was back when we had the other show, and he had a very I thought
a hot take.
I thought he stroked out during the call.
Wow.
Like it was one of those just really, it was nuts. Like
So,
he was.
What's he on meds now?
Well,
Calm down.
I don't know, but he's very thoughtful about what happened back then, and he just kind of took us through the history of a lot of things there.
Sounds like medication.
And well, hey, some of that's good.
Yeah. Hey, tax season's here. That means it's the season of savings with Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. That's what tax season means at Paschal. It means you can get your home warm and comfortable now and pay later when your tax return comes in. It's the smart way to stay comfortable without the upfront hit to your wallet. That's the bottom line. Also, if you're shopping around for a new system, you've made that decision, don't forget to use Paschal's Price Check button. Now, what this does, it lets you compare other companies' quotes with Paschal's pricing, and what it really lets you know is whether or not you're comparing apples to apples. Sometimes there are hidden fees. The products aren't as good. Just all kinds of things. It really does. It's just not comparable when you get right down to it. Paschal can help you with that. And right now you can log on. You can schedule your appointment. Just check them out at gopaschal.com.
A lot of parents are excited today. Kids are going back to
Snow
school.
day's over.
Going back to daycare. 7:29. It's a Monday. The Chuck and Bo Show. Glad you're here. Good morning.
I'm not telling you that everything's great. I'm also not willing to say everything's terrible.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Being a Razorback fan isn't just about the game. It's about the community, the tradition, and the moments that matter. At Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, they understand the importance of those moments. That's why they offer a selection of fine jewelry that goes beyond the ordinary, just like our hogs. Visit Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers, where you'll find that perfect piece to celebrate your Razorback spirit and the special moments in your life.
Our New Year's sale is on at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Get total New Year savings up to $13,000 on select in-stock new 2024 Silverados. That's up to $13,000 in total savings on a new Silverado. Limited time only during our New Year sale at Chevrolet of Fayetteville in the Fayetteville Auto Park. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Chevrolet at Fayetteville.com. Savings include dealer discounts and all incentives on select models. Must qualify. See dealer for details. Expires 3/3/25.
You want to talk about washed? You're being brainwashed by idiots. You're following idiots.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Hey, Ty Richardson for American Patriot Promotions. They have their Springdale Gun Show coming up March 8th and 9th in the Parsons Stadium Event Center. Come see them Saturday, March 8th from 9 to 5 and Sunday, March the 9th from 9 to 3:30. Tickets are just $10 per person, $8 for veterans, military, police, and first responders, plus children 16 and under get in free. Check them out online at AmericanPatriotPromotions.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshields, and slick roads quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I've known you for 25 years. I've never seen you hug anybody.
Well, I am a hugger, but just not in this room. Just not here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bottom line is we got to have a whole bunch more money a whole bunch more money coming into college athletics, and that's what we keep hearing about.
Oh, yeah, they're
like,
short
nonstop.
on cash.
Nonstop. That's what we're hearing about right now. We got rev share coming. We get NIL. Like, it's just always there. Sometimes we're talking about it. Sometimes we're not, but it's always there. And over the weekend, Wally wrote a column about this bill that's going to come back up in the House apparently this week. And it was really strange the last time that it didn't pass. And there's one big competing interest, and it's Saracen and their desire to run the raffle for Arkansas. And that seems to be what gets the most attention, along with the idea that if you do that, you're going to have iGaming become legal, which is not something that our state at this point and our governor seems to be comfortable with. But it didn't pass. The bill didn't pass, and the bill that was up to pass was that schools would be able to run their raffle using somebody of their choosing to run the raffle. And it was kind of surprising. And then upon further review, they didn't even take like a recorded vote. It was like a voice vote. Like all in favor, aye. Those opposed, no. And so it didn't pass. And so they went back to work, and apparently they've made some tweaks to get it back in the House this week, and it's expected to pass this time. It will not include using a betting app to execute the raffle. The raffle will likely bring hundreds of thousands of dollars to the university a year that they can use for whatever they want. They can use it for NIL. They can use it for just budget. But they're at a $20 million, I wouldn't say deficit yet, but $20 million that they've got to come up with for the next fiscal year, which begins this summer. And the University of Arkansas, as I understand it, wants to be able to execute their own raffle so they can get $500,000, $600,000, $800,000 for that. And so I think that'll be back in the House this week based on the column that we read over the weekend. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of fighting goes on in Little Rock at the state's capitol, and does this pass? And
it's time to deal with this. It's time to deal with this. We got too many people talking about this, too many Twitter wars. Deal with it. Now, this is just my opinion as an Arkansan, as someone who's lived here and will continue to live here. If you're going to have internet gambling, I mean, everything full-fledged, whole deal, that needs to be decided by the public. I say this respectfully to our state legislature. I don't want those guys deciding whether or not we're going to have online gambling. Just to be blunt about it, they don't always speak for me. And I've got my own opinions on that, and so does everybody else. Wally's right when he says that if you were to put online gambling to a public vote, that it would fail. I think it'd fail by 60% of the vote. I don't believe the people of the state want it, and those who would be against it would be so well-funded and so organized, I just don't think it would ever pass. This bill in some form or fashion is going to pass, I suspect. I don't know if it'll be this week. There's going to be a lottery, and it's not going to be run by a casino. I feel pretty confident in saying that. And I'm not offering a commentary on whether that's good or bad. That's just the way I see it. I don't see the appetite to make this a full-fledged iGaming combo 50-50 raffle deal. Would it bring in more money? Well, maybe so. I don't know. But as I said the other day, none of this is program-changing money. I don't care if you've got iGaming and if it's administered by an app. This is not program-changing money. Now, it's sad, perhaps, that hundreds of thousands of dollars is not program-changing money, but it's not. And you look at the other programs, particularly those in our league. There is a company out there that handles this, and I suspect that that's probably what will happen here. There's going to be a raffle in some form. I'm certain of that. But I don't know that you're going to be able to do it on your phone. And I just, again, I'm just not sure that's the will of the people right now.
Well, yeah, the whole iGaming thing is a whole other situation. What we have right now is Saracen and Carlton Safa putting himself out there in the middle of this thing for his gain and their gain, which I don't blame him for. That's their business. But when you say you're all about Arkansas NIL money and then you stand in the way of a bill that will give Arkansas NIL money because it's not being done through you, you can't then continue to say that's the reason you're doing it. Just acknowledge that it's not in the best interest of Saracen for this to happen because you're going to make more money if it goes through Saracen, which the university doesn't want a casino running their raffle. No. So that's not even part of the conversation. And this is the reason, apparently, I wasn't at the meeting. This was, or the House vote.
It was a committee. It was a committee. That's why it was a voice vote. That's generally the way it works in committee.
So in this committee, apparently Saracen was the reason that it didn't pass the first time. And so whatever those objections were, they've kind of changed that and tweaked that. But we're still going to have most likely a raffle that doesn't involve a casino. And therefore, we don't have to have the conversation right now about iGaming, which should not be wrapped up into this Trojan horse. That's a whole different thing. But the idea that the University of Arkansas is somehow messing up by not doing this through Saracen, and it would lead to millions of dollars, is to talk about it in a vacuum and ignore all the other things around it. And that's what has sort of been confusing for people, because you're not saying, it's not a simple yes or no. Do we want millions for NIL or do we want hundreds of thousands for NIL? The millions means we're opening up something that we're not even legally in a sphere to have that conversation.
It's time to pick a plan and go. We've been talking about this for 6 months. It's gotten personal. Everyone involved in this is a decent person. Everyone involved in this wants the Razorbacks to do well. I believe that. That's why it's time for this pick a plan and let's go.
So we've got a YouTube comment, and this has been something I've seen pop up from time to time of people weighing in on this, and I just want to make sure we set the record straight on this. So this is from Marcus. He said, Saracen has said many times over, they aren't making any profit from this, so you're spreading false information.
Yes, they are.
They're making plenty of profit. That's why the iGaming part of this is so important to them. That's how they're going to make a boatload of money.
They're not making profit on the raffle itself. That's not...
Right. That's
again, they're isolating one issue.
Right.
It's like talking about a car, and you're talking about one hubcap and ignoring the entire car.
Saracen
you're saying, but this one hubcap, but the whole car goes together.
Right. Saracen will not do the raffle without the iGaming.
Does anybody have hubcaps anymore, by the way?
I don't see those flying off cars anymore.
It's a real distraction, though, if you just focus on that. The spinner. Like, if you just focus there.
So and then Marcus is live commenting here, which I appreciate. He said, I meant the raffle, not as a whole. Well, yes, but you have to, the whole package. There is no one
the car analogy.
Right, exactly.
They get the whole
thing. It's the whole thing. That's why they're doing it. If they weren't going to make any money, they wouldn't be doing it. Like, that's bad business.
All right. 877-377-6963 if you want to jump in on this or anything else. The Razorbacks winning over the weekend. We'll get back to what it means for their NCAA tournament chances. Hey, guys, regardless of your age, 30, 40, 50, 60, if you're dragging and you're not feeling great, there can be a solution for that. That is not complicated, but done through a real doctor, done through a real health facility where you can feel better. Just get the test. Get the free evaluation. The Sweatnum Edge. Cosmetic.com. SweatnumCosmetic.com is the website. Click on the Sweatnum Edge. Get your free evaluation and feel better today. Could be as little as supplements. Maybe you want some shots. The idea is you figure out what's causing you to not have the energy you once did and what can help you get better, and then you can decide if you want to take advantage of that. I have. It's made a huge difference for me, and I know it will for you too. Give it a shot. SweatnumCosmetic.com. It's the Sweatnum Edge, 745 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
That's the actual question. What the hell's going on around here?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
If you suffer from sleep apnea but you can't stand wearing your CPAP machine, I've got good news. And you need it because not wearing your CPAP can lead to severe health problems.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you don't have good sleep, you're not only affecting your body, it can affect your heart, it can affect your lungs, it can increase weight gain. If you don't get good sleep, you also are not filtering your brain well. So sleep's very, very important.
Dr. Scotty Boulding, who's an Arkansas native and world-renowned surgeon, has proven surgical alternatives that can improve your airway and help you breathe better.
If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Call Dr. Boulding's office today at 479-755-3000 for a consultation and tell him you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
Bo, when your show went off a few years ago, it was like I've been lost ever since then. And I just really appreciate your show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Hey, Todd Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Rachel's at Papa's right now. Rachel, what do you think?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
You can check out their menu at papaspub.com. Cricket, how about you?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Come on by and see us at Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You know, when you're young, I mean, you want to party. I mean, you want to go party, you want to go have a good time. But you do get to a point in life where it's like, I do kind of like not having to deal with people.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That's my I like dogs better than people comment right there.
There you go. It's Monday, February 24th. Good morning. Hope you're off to a great start this morning. It's 7:51. Got a text here about the 50-50 raffle. Apparently the bill is going to be back up for a vote this week. Expected to pass. We'll see. But it'll allow Arkansas and other schools in our state to run their own raffle and choose who they want to run it. And Arkansas has pretty much said they don't want it to be a casino. Chris in Fayetteville says, I'm asking because I genuinely don't know. How does Saracen profit from running the raffle if they were to do that for Arkansas? Well, it's not about the raffle. It's about the state would have to legalize iGaming, which then means Saracen is able to profit off iGaming. It really doesn't have anything to do with the raffle. In fact, that's what's been talked about over and over and over again. If Saracen really wants to run the raffle, then why don't they do it without it being iGaming? Why don't they figure out a way to run it and not have iGaming be a part of it? And the reason is because that does them zero good, because they're not making any money off the raffle. But if they can open iGaming and you can have a casino in your pocket in the state of Arkansas, and they're the ones that are running that iGaming and having that available, and the one asking for that, well, that's worth so much money. And that would be great for them. And I don't fault them for wanting whatever they think is great for their business. But it's been connected to the raffle in a way that is very confusing for fans. And what's annoying about it is if you're in the University of Arkansas's position, there's misinformation or a lack of understanding out there that makes it seem like Arkansas doesn't want to make as much money as they could make off the raffle. But that's not seeing the entire picture, because Saracen doesn't want to run the raffle without iGaming. I think I've summed it up. I think that's exactly the way it is.
Yeah.
I mean, when we had Carlton Saff on, we basically covered that, among many other things. And what happens in today's world, and it's politics. I mean, you get out there and you get people thinking what you want them to think and trying to muddy up the waters and look at the left hand while the right hand's doing this. But the idea that the other text we've been getting, that Saracen's been the most transparent in this whole thing, well, that's crap. Like, it's not transparent. Like, acknowledge that part. Come out and say, yes, we want to run the raffle, but we don't want to run it without iGaming. And for iGaming, unless iGaming passes, we won't be doing it. But beyond that, there's no option for that, because Arkansas is not going to use a casino right now to run their raffle. The first thing that has to pass is get this raffle situated in a way that Arkansas can run their own and go make whatever money they can make off of it, which other schools, Florida's made, I think in year one, they made about $700,000 on raffles. It's been hit or miss at places, how you do it and all that. But the bottom line is Arkansas doesn't want Saracen or anybody else to stand in their way of making this raffle available to fans to make $4 or $5 or $6 or $800,000 or maybe $1 million over the next year.
Here's what I don't like about all this, and here's why I'm fed up with it, and here's why I said a minute ago, pick a plan and let's go. The average Razorback fan out there, they just want to make their mortgage payment this month. They just want to make their car payment. Times aren't easy out there for folks right now, and colleges are already as deep into people's pockets as they can reach their arm. It's not their hand anymore. It's all the way up to the elbow. I mean, all this discussion means for fans is people are going to be trying to get more of my money. And I just think fans are fed up with all this stuff. They want their team to win. Some of them will buy 50-50 raffle tickets. Some of them won't. There's lots of raffles out there. Lots of sorry teams run raffles. Lots of sorry pro teams, lots of sorry college teams run raffles. The idea that that's going to put you over the top, please.
H&R Block will put you over the top when it comes to your max refund guaranteed during tax season. H&R Block here for you with 70 years of prep expertise to work on your behalf. So breathe easy and file with confidence. Find an H&R Block near you. Almost 8 o'clock on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block. If you're having issues with your gutters or drainage around the house, you need to call Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated with over 30 years of experience. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drains. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, and every job comes with a 20-year guarantee. Hog Trough Gutters services all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Log on to their website, hoggutters.com, to find out more. That's hog, Gutters.com.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original Sports Rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
And I listen in every day. Everybody know that. I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
Good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will be in and out of the clouds. Our high temperatures this afternoon into the lower 60s. Clear skies overnight, dropping down upper 30s to near 40. Tuesday, right back to sun, a high upper 60s to near 70, and we could see a few showers on Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I'm
fight like hell for the University of Arkansas the entire time that I'm the head coach.
Hey, back at Harry Robinson, Sallisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Sallisaw. The weather's put everybody behind, and I know this weekend it's a big time for Troy, you and your staff to get caught up during the Salesman Showdown.
Yes, it definitely is. You know, this snow kind of slowed us down a little bit, but we're not going to let it scare us. We're not going to let it stop us, and we're going to make sure that you still get the best deal out there. So if you're looking for a vehicle, come down to Harry Robinson, Sallisaw Ford, up to $13,000 off of new 24 F-150s, all that's remaining. We've got up to $10,000 off of all remaining 24 Expeditions, and the big kicker here, the big thing, we're going to match your down payment up to $1,500. So if you don't have $1,500 and you only have $750, that now turns into $1,500. $1,000 is now $2,000. $1,500 is now $3,000. So come down here and see us.
It's the Salesman Showdown sale. Harry Robinson, Sallisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Sallisaw.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Courtside with Fort Smith Public Schools. Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports.
I think the boys program, we definitely thrive off the energy and the emotion. I think as a coach, it's a big thing to kind of just help those guys rein that in, myself included. You know, there's times we have to take a step back, take a breath during a timeout, and just sit there and breathe.
New episode every week on the Hit That Line podcast network and on hitthatline.com. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
How often do you go into Facebook and just check the people that have requested to be your friend?
A couple of times an hour. Anytime I need a boost. A lot of people from foreign countries. It's amazing how that happens. You know, we have no common friends. No mutual friends at all.
Yeah.
And they're, for some reason, anxious to connect with me. Sometimes they send me messages. Now, my bank account's been drained.
Yeah.
But other than that, I have a lot of internet
So
friends.
now we know why you're doing the show.
Yeah, that's right.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still happy.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Hey, let me say this as we begin the last hour. Saturday night was a great night. It was a great night at Bud Walton Arena. I didn't hear one person say, this would be a lot better if we had a raffle going on right now. I didn't hear one person say that during the course of the game Saturday night. I just thought I'd point that out.
What if they could have been playing blackjack live on their phone right
I don't
there?
know. But
I just made $5,000 while watching the Razorbacks win.
I'm making a bad joke.
I just lost $5,000 while watching the Razorbacks win. It was a great night.
It was a fun night.
This is such a confusing time to be alive, because if you pick up social media, you should be expecting to be confused. Things are written, things are said as though they're fact, and they're not. And we have lost journalism in our country. We've basically lost it.
Wow.
We just have. You don't. Where do you go for right down the middle? Here are the facts. You decide how you feel about it.
I think that was by design.
We lost it years ago. It's harder than ever to find truth. But one thing that you can rest assured on is there are multiple issues connected with a casino's involvement in a raffle. And what the University of Arkansas is trying to do is have their own raffle and not have a casino involved. And that's it. That's it. Like, all of the other issues can then go be taken care of in a political realm. Do what like how that's the system we're in. Go do it there. But this information and misinformation and coupling and uncoupling and all these things that are happening that make it so confusing. Arkansas does not want to do a raffle with a casino for all kinds of reasons. And it's not legal the way that it is set up currently for that to even happen. So the idea that they're turning something down that could make them more money is not only untrue, they're trying to get the bill passed that will allow it to happen, where they can help raise money for the athletic department. And that's where we stand today on that issue. Meanwhile, something that's a little bit less difficult to untangle, Arkansas's chances to make the NCAA tournament.
Wow, that tells you how complicated the raffle issue is.
Is it?
If the NCAA tournament bubble is child's play, then that raffle is that's a complicated deal right there.
The reason it is because they'll play the games and that'll happen. It'll happen like it's going to happen after they play the games.
Yeah.
What we're all trying to figure out is predictive type analytics to tell us what is indeed going to happen, because we all can't be patient enough for it to just unfold. Right. So we've got to have something to talk about around the games, every game.
Well, you've got to have the one guy in the room that says, all right, here's how it's going to go, boys. And, you know, he basically lays it out.
And that's going to be Bart.
And he's going to be the one that everybody says, well, you know, you said this was going to happen. You said that was going to happen.
All right, Bart, here's what I want you to do. You're going to get about 30 seconds.
Are they getting in or not?
Hold on. Before you answer that, and I want you to come, because you're going to be the guy that we put out in front, and we're all going, the whole thing from now to the end is, was Bart right? Okay? And if you get it right, I'm taking you to Blakeman's, and I'm going to buy you some jewelry.
Oh.
Maybe it's going to be a watch.
Okay.
Maybe it'll be a bracelet. Maybe it'll be something that you want to gift someone else, because they got whatever you want, whatever you need in their newly renovated store. And I'm definitely going to buy you a cup of coffee. They've got their own coffee bar. Look, they have their own barista.
I love that.
Inside of Blakeman's Fine Jewelry and Rogers, their own barista. And also somebody to pour Prosecco, but I don't think that takes a lot of talent. But the barista, like, you can get a latte at Blakeman's. This is an experience unlike any other now at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. So I'll take you. In fact, I'll take you there for a cup of coffee, win or lose, as a consolation. But if you win, I'm going to buy you something.
Okay.
And Chuck's going to pitch in. He just doesn't know it yet. But we're putting you out there, right, Chuck? Okay, what's going to happen?
What? Sorry, what?
What's going to happen?
Here's what's going to happen. Arkansas is going to make the NCAA tournament.
All right, so that's a start.
All right.
Now, how's that going to happen?
That's what's going to happen. Well, they're going to win games down the stretch. That's look, at the end of the day, the best thing you can possibly do is play your way off the bubble. Arkansas is on it right now. You win games, you get off the bubble. The thing that's holding Arkansas back from being off the bubble right now is that their record and the metrics that go along with their record and how they've done against certain teams, that's not up to the same level as teams that are safely in the field right now, or even other teams that are on the bubble. I'm talking about their wins above the bubble, their strength of record in particular. Those things change when you win games against other teams that are projected to be in the tournament or are on the bubble. I think Arkansas is going to beat Texas this week. You go to South Carolina. South Carolina just beat Texas. I mean, beat them pretty good.
Thumped them.
Over the weekend. They had been struggling. That game, not as easy as you might think. It's always tough on the road in this league. If you beat Texas, you beat South Carolina, you can probably get away with a loss at Vanderbilt. That's always a tough place to play. Weird gym, weird setup, never fun to play there. Vanderbilt's also pretty good. Then you come home, you beat Mississippi State. At that point, you are in the NCAA tournament. If you win 3 of the last 4 games, you're in the NCAA tournament, I think.
I think you're probably right. Let me revise something here, and I'm talking about me, not you. We have to remember the conference tournament format is different than it was before, and I have to admit I've found myself, as I've thought about all that may happen in March, my mind's reverted back to the old format more than once. I'll give you an example. If the tournament started today.
We're talking about SEC.
SEC
tournament.
If the SEC tournament started today, Arkansas would be the 11th seed, and they would play 14th seed at Oklahoma. Now, that game might be for an NCAA tournament.
Might be a
bid.
play-in game.
Yeah, I'm
it's
not
a bubble
saying
game.
it will be. You know, if Oklahoma goes 0-4 and Arkansas goes 4-0, well, it's not a bubble game.
And it's really got nothing to do with them being in the same conference. It's got everything to do
Right.
with them being in the same spot with their resume or very similar.
Right. So there is a scenario by which, you know, Arkansas could go 3-2 and not win that 11-14 game, or, you know, however it shakes out. At that point, you're in a pretty tenuous spot. Now, I will say this. If Arkansas goes 3-2 and wins on Wednesday at the conference tournament, you can go to bed Wednesday night knowing the Razorbacks are in the field. And I don't think it's going to be a play-in game in Dayton either.
Here's the other thing to keep in mind as we're having look. It's been a little bit since Arkansas has been on the bubble for the NCAA tournament. The past several times that Arkansas has been in the field, they've been in the field easily. They've been a high seed in the tournament. This is a different experience. You have to remember that what other teams are doing on the bubble matters as well.
Other teams that are in the same category. So,
Right.
so like
So-
just
so,
for my own brain visually, there's this sheet of paper, and there's like, let's say 20 teams in there that are all vying for a handful of bubble spots. And like how those 20 teams do each game, who they play, who they beat, who they lose to, are going to impact what happens down the stretch. Not just Arkansas's wins and losses, but what they do also. Like I was watching this weekend because you told me to.
Yeah.
I was watching Vanderbilt play Ole Miss, hoping Vanderbilt would lose on behalf of Arkansas.
Right.
I was hoping Oklahoma would lose on behalf
Neither
of
of those things
Arkansas,
happened.
and they both won.
And once both those things happened, I was like, man, Arkansas better win this game against Missouri because it's like they need to keep up
Made
with
it
those
even more
teams.
critical.
So like, but outside the SEC, you're looking at teams like West Virginia, Nebraska, San Diego State, Wake Forest, North Carolina, SMU. ACC is bad this year. It's a bad league. They have a lot of teams on the bubble. So you kind of want those teams, all those teams I just mentioned, you want them to lose.
The teams that'll knock you out, generally speaking, are the teams from the small conferences that unexpectedly win their conference tournament, but you still got to give an at-large bid to the team that's won 26 games, or one of those teams like you just mentioned, like in Nebraska, who suddenly, unexpectedly ends up in the finals of their conference tournament on Sunday. Those are the teams that can get you. It's generally not somebody from your own league.
I'm glad you brought that up, Chuck, because fortunately,
you upchucked it.
Just came out.
How did you
came up?
Well, here, another segment with Upchuck Chuck.
By the way, that's a clever retort. That Upchuck, I've never heard that.
Tell you what, yeah. Well, it's the first time since we started this show.
So
Upchuck.
The good thing for Arkansas is that there aren't a lot of those smaller conference teams this year that you would consider they're in the tournament regardless.
Yeah, that's good.
You've got like San Diego out in the Big West. They're really good. They're really high in a lot of the metrics. They might be one of those teams that gets in regardless of whether or not they or UC Irvine wins their conference tournament. The American is a bad league this year. They've got Memphis and nobody else. They might be a one-bid league. If Memphis wins their conference tournament, they probably will be.
American? I didn't even know I've never even heard of the American.
Oh, stop. Yes, you have.
Barely.
Um,
The Missouri Valley, Drake is a team that's probably in the field regardless.
If he doesn't calm down, he's going to replace Lenardi. I mean, SportsCenter is calling.
Bart
Hey, I'm
Torvik,
just-
meet
hey,
Bart Pullman.
Look, I'm just trying to make sure that Razorback fans are in the know and they've got their schedule of, hey, who do we need to root against?
Well, I'm glad you
over
feel
the-
strongly
over the
about it.
last
I'm
couple
glad
of
you've
weeks.
got. I'm glad you've got thought out opinions.
Yeah,
that's kind of
really
novel
good.
around here.
Really good.
You know, well thought out opinions.
Let me ask. I got one more question. How does the raffle fit into this?
Yeah. We're gonna have the raffle or not, Bart? What's
Yeah,
gonna
what's
happen?
I'd say it's 50-50.
Oh, wow. I think I need a beer.
Yeah, that was clever.
I think I'll have a beer now. Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer, now with the screw-off resealable bottle. 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle, perfect for any occasion. 95 calories. You can enjoy the crisp, refreshing taste of Yingling. It's a Flight. It is a light Yingling. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Raise a bar and take a flight. Back in a minute on the Chuck and Bo Show. It's 8:14. Good morning.
Bo, you said something interesting. I don't think you meant to, but when you talked about
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Our New Year's sale is on at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Get total New Year's savings up to $13,000 on select in-stock new 2024 Silverados. That's up to $13,000 in total savings on a new Silverado. Limited time only during our New Year's sale at Chevrolet of Fayetteville in the Fayetteville Auto Park. Chevrolet, together let's drive. ChevroletofFayetteville.com. Savings include dealer discounts and all incentives on select models. Must qualify. See dealer for details. Expires 3/3/25.
Being a Razorback fan isn't just about the game. It's about the community, the tradition, and the moments that matter. At Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, they understand the importance of those moments. That's why they offer a selection of fine jewelry that goes beyond the ordinary, just like our hogs. Visit Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers, where you'll find that perfect piece to celebrate your Razorback spirit and the special moments in your life.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Save Sports Radio.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work, and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
You did.
But I spewed it out.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I was reminded of how important a good night's sleep is when I got up this morning.
What happened?
I woke up several times last night.
What was the story?
Well, I think my kids
prostate
think they have they have the. Yeah.
That's what gets me.
I didn't have to get up and go to the restroom. It's warm. It's warm.
Sorry, I just had to go there.
They mess with the they mess with the thermostat. And like I need it cold.
You can't be messing.
Well,
with
and in my bedroom, it's warmer than it is in other parts of the house. I haven't quite figured that out yet, but it's just the space and the door shut or whatever, and it just and so I can always tell when I didn't get a good night of sleep, and I go check the thermostat when I'm making that first cup of coffee to come in here and do the Chuck and Bo show, and it's about 5 degrees warmer than it was supposed to be.
Hey, hang on,
for me to get optimum sleep.
What temperature are we talking about here?
Like it was, it was way up there. It was like 68. Needs to be like 66, 65.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
I keep mine on 66 in the winter at night.
Well, I mean, it gets warm in there, and I run hot. I don't know if you know. What else do you want to know? What else do you want to know about me and my wife, Chuck? I run hot, okay? So I need it to be cooler in there.
Chuck is shaking his head like we have blown his mind here.
But I was reminded of the importance of a good night's sleep, and you hear me talking about this all the time. And if you listen to any podcast about like life tips and life hacks and the importance of whatever it is you want to improve in your life, it starts with sleep. Like you have to get a good night's sleep, and we undervalue that all the time. And if you have sleep apnea, you know what I'm talking about. But if you don't wear your CPAP machine, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't want to wear your CPAP machine, Dr. Scotty Bolding and Precedent Facial has a option for you at the Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine. That's an alternative that could be life-changing, so you don't have to wear a CPAP machine. You can log on to precedent.com and get more details. Dr. Scotty Bolding, world-renowned surgeon, longtime Razorback, was on Eddie Sutton's staff as a manager at one point, and precedent.com. You can go get that info. Now, back to Chuck and his prostate. Tell me what's going on there.
I can't believe I
and
used that word on the air.
Well, look, it's up, Chuck. Ask Chuck anything.
I take medicine for it.
Ask
Just
me
like
anything.
everybody else my age, okay? Forget it.
It's time for what will be now a weekly segment. Ask Chuck anything. 877.
But now, this 68, 66 stuff, I mean, that we got a part company there. That's too cool for me.
I think you got to understand too, like what it says on the thermostat and what it is at certain points in the house may not all be equally the same.
I would drive you guys outside with the temperature I keep.
These are things.
Go ahead, Chuck.
No, I don't keep it on 68. I work this job just to pay my heating bill. I'll put it that way. I'm not interested in being cold.
These are types of things. These are the types of things that young people thinking of marriage should consider. You gotta have these things in premarital counseling. Like, well, what do you sleep with the temperature at?
That's
a game changer.
It's important.
It matters. We'll figure that out. The heck you will.
I will say this: winter or summer, my thermostat is never below 70, ever. And I know I'm in the minority there, but I don't care.
Well,
I don't know that you're in the minority.
I don't like it real cold in the summer. I don't. I don't like it real cold in the summer. But I don't like being cold in the winter. That's not part of my plan.
It's
just not.
I just really believe, and I think Pascal would back me up on this.
I'm
like, if you're cold, you can figure out a way to warm up. If you're hot, like, how do you get away from it? And we're going to hit that this summer. Like, there's, in fact, I've asked Pascal about this. In the winter, people do need their HVAC fixed and they do want to be warmer or whatever. But in the summer, like, that phone starts ringing as soon as somebody's hot because you can't get away from being hot. You can only take so many clothes off.
I've had enough cold weather. I'll take 100 degrees right now. If you want to make the trade right now, I'll make it with you. As long as it takes. As long as it takes for me to get tired of it.
How long do you want it? I mean, I get that. That's the prisoner
smoke
of the moment.
you want?
That's the prisoner of the moment for sure. That's what we want right now. But like,
I hate winter. I hate winter.
Well, I don't like it either.
With a passion.
I don't.
I mean, I hate it.
What do you? All right.
I live for spring.
Tell me more. Is
I just don't. It's cold. It's too cold.
It is sort of just a downer.
It's too cold.
It's just
I like to be able to sit outside in shorts and a T-shirt day or night and be comfortable.
So you don't like to wear pants either.
Well,
you're with me on that.
Yeah.
You don't like to wear pants. I don't like to wear pants.
I like to wear pants around you, but
I appreciate that.
We all are thankful.
Wow. Yeah.
Chuck, I've got good news for you.
All right, good.
Okay.
I've got good news.
Today, the high temperature here in Fayetteville is 63.
That's a good day.
74 tomorrow.
That's great.
61, 57, 66, 63 takes us into Saturday and the weekend.
That's better than most February. Better than most, but I mean we're almost to March.
We're gonna hit. We're probably gonna start March in the low to mid 50s, but I'll take it over where we've been.
Bart's in the Chevy Situation Room with encouraging words for the rest of the week, Chuck.
Yeah.
I mean, that is next level. That is encouraging, and that is exciting.
Well, I'm just glad it's warming up a little bit, and I'm glad that spring is. I mean, we're less than a month away from spring, if I'm not mistaken. It's the 24th today, the 24th of February.
I'll take those temps right now. That's a jump start on that. Do you think the Groundhog Day, Punxsutawney Phil, and all that, does that impact us? Like, really?
I don't know.
Like here in Arkansas?
Did he see a shadow issue? Did he?
Yeah. No, I mean.
Apparently he's put on some weight. It was a big one.
Chubby.
He's a liar. The rodent's a liar.
They have
I don't know that he's a liar.
They have Ozempic for groundhogs. We got to get that guy in shape for next year.
Semaglutide.
That's right.
There you go. Hey, by the way, football season is over, but the action hasn't stopped at Oaklawn and the Sports app. Download the Oaklawn Sports app in the Apple or App Store on Google Play Store. Easy for you to say. And you can get in on the action. Future outright winners, spreads, totals, player props, game props, and live in-game wagering. You name it, you can probably bet on it with the Oaklawn Sports app. Bet on the NCAA tournament. Bet on the SEC tournament coming up. I want to get back into this SEC tournament conversation, by the way. New customers can earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets with Oaklawn Sports. Arkansas's best sporting app. Bet with the brand you trust. Bet with Oaklawn Sports. By the way, do we have racing at Oaklawn today because they moved everything back a day? They had the Rebel Stakes yesterday. It was supposed to be on Saturday, but they had it on Sunday. I didn't know if they pushed anything today or not.
Yes.
They
There
did.
is racing today. Yep.
All right. Oaklawn.com/racing for details on that. When we come back, let's get into this SEC tournament thing. It's a different format. It's a different setup because we have more teams in the league.
That's right.
And four games on day one.
And there's another way to look at how difficult and competitive this league is, and it's not necessarily a positive if I'm looking at it correctly. But I need Bart and Chuck to tell me if I am or not when we come back. 877-377-6963. It's the Chuck and Bo Show, 8:27 on a Monday. Good morning.
I don't like getting up early in the mornings. I mean, even to go duck hunting, but I do get up every morning now to listen to you guys.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original Sports Rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
Discover the Stonebreaker Hotel, where handcrafted elegance meets modern comfort. Relax in beautifully designed rooms, or book your next reservation at the Stonebreaker Lounge and Restaurant, where you can satisfy cravings with fresh, seasonal takes on traditional favorites. Open daily from 5 to 9 p.m. For more information, log on to stonebreakerhotel.com, located on Markham Road in Fayetteville, where you'll find the Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant. When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Brady Slavens sparks this team to Omaha, and the road show continues for the Arkansas Razorbacks. A 4-3 win, come from behind style in the ninth inning. The Razorbacks dogpiling on the field here in Chapel Hill with their 11th trip to the College World Series, and you can call them the Omahas.
Listen to every Razorback baseball game on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Let's get it. Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage. It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, Wildcat!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
The Great American Conference Basketball Championships are coming to Fort Smith, March 6th through the 9th at Fort Smith Southside High School. See the best men's and women's teams in the GAC. Battle it out for an automatic bid into the NCAA Division II tournament. Get your tickets and more information for the Great American Conference Tournament at GreatAmericanConference.com. It's the GAC Basketball Championships.
27th, welcome in. Hope you had a great...
Fort Smith at Southside High School.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Where's my life gone? I don't understand anything that's happening. There's all this stuff going on around me, and I'm just completely clueless. And that's when I decided I'm going to go to bed.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, taxes can be hard, but filing with an H&R Block shop can be a lot easier. Find a location near you. You walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. 70 years of tax expertise goes to work for you at H&R Block. Here's my thing about the SEC tournament. Okay, first of all, explain the difference of the SEC tournament this year versus previous years, because we have, what, 2 more teams?
Got 16 teams now. You know, previously, 14 teams, all of them got in. The top 10 earned buys to Thursday. 11 played 14, 12 played 13. You had 2 games on Wednesday, and most of America barely noticed. Just to be truthful.
Yeah.
Now you're going to have 16 teams in there, so you're going to have 4 games on Wednesday. You've got to be in the top 8 to get a bye into Thursday. Arkansas is not going to be in that group, I wouldn't think. If the tournament started today, Arkansas would be the 11th seed. So what you're going to have, perhaps, are de facto elimination games. Maybe. I'm not saying it's going to be this way. They may present it that way. Arkansas and Oklahoma, like Oklahoma would be the opponent today. They might both end up getting in, or they might both end up getting left out. I don't know. But from the outside looking in, you kind of look at that and think, well, is the winner getting in and is the loser out?
So if you won the tournament, just so we're all clear, and you're Arkansas, you would have to win 5 games.
5 games
and that's
in 5 days.
That's just like hard to even imagine. And if you did that,
Nobody's
do you
doing
have
that.
anything?
You're not going to win next week. Do
you have anything left to play in the tournament after that? You don't even want to do that. You want to try to figure out a way in besides that. But here's my question, okay? We've talked about how difficult the league is all year, and we've talked about it as a positive, and it has turned out to be true because with Arkansas's 5-9 record in conference play, 5-9, 4 games below 500, they still have a legit shot to be in the NCAA tournament. They have not been eliminated. They're squarely on that bubble with several other teams, not only from this conference, but other conferences. Here's my question. Being in this league, is it going to flip and now actually hurt you that you're on the bubble in this league because you're losing, or teams in this league are losing that are on the bubble because they're playing such difficult competition, while other teams that are on the bubble in other conferences may win, even though those wins aren't against quality or as good a competition. At this point in the game, wins may mean more than losing to difficult teams. So it's played out this one narrative till we get to the last 4 weeks or 2 weeks of the season. But the narrative is you're still in it because you're playing all these quad 1 games, even though you're not winning them all. Now we get down to the last 4 games and into the SEC tournament, and I'm not sure that narrative and that idea of playing really tough teams holds up. Like, you got to actually win now, and you're up against teams who are playing lesser competition that can win and knock you out. So am I seeing this correctly or incorrectly?
I'm not saying you're incorrect, but I do think you're talking more about narrative than you are what the selections are actually going to be. And here's why I say that. Arkansas lost the other night to Auburn. Oh my God, they can't get over the hump. Well, they end up moving up in the net. Then they beat Missouri Saturday night, and everybody said, well, they're in. Well, they moved up 1 spot. So there's not a lot of movement right now. And I don't know if when you look at the 4 Arkansas's got left, the devastating loss would be South Carolina. You can make up for a loss at Vanderbilt with a couple wins at home. There's a possibility, and that's always the wild card when you get to this point. There's a possibility it could be like you're talking about. There's also the possibility the games, in terms of actual metrics movement, it may be so minimal that the selection committee doesn't, bring it into play. I'm not sure. What do you think, Bart?
Well, real quick, I just want to also throw this in. We've been saying for weeks that 7 wins would get them in. Do we still believe that? 7 conference wins.
I think 7
They're
conference
at 5
wins.
right now.
I think my personal opinion is if they go 2-2 the rest of the way and win on Wednesday in Nashville, they're safely
at the SEC tournament.
They're safely in.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, Bo, to your point, I think that could be the case some years. This year, and it's funny that this is all happening in the backdrop of talks to expand the NCAA tournament, which is just ridiculous. Like, terrible idea.
3 terrible.
It's a really weak bubble year. And I mean no disrespect to a lot of the teams on the bubble, because there are some good teams. There are also some really bad teams on the bubble this year, because you still have to fill 68 spots in the field. Like, Nebraska, Wake Forest, North Carolina is not very good this year. They're just not. Xavier, Indiana's on the bubble. Indiana, I understand they beat Purdue yesterday. Big win for them and big win for their NCAA tournament hopes. That's not a good team. Villanova is a team that's on the bubble. They're a team that's capable of beating anybody because they have Eric Dixon. They can also lose to anybody because they don't have anybody else. So it's a weak bubble this year, which means these SEC teams are going to continue to get propped up by the strength of the league, whereas these ACC teams, for example, that league's so bad, it's not going to. I don't think it's out of the question still that the SEC can get 13 or even 14 teams in the NCAA.
I don't
tournament.
see that happening. I mean, I know people are saying it.
I think some of these leagues around the country,
I know what they're all saying.
are
They're
so
wrong.
bad,
They're wrong.
are so bad that it could happen. We'll see.
I don't know.
Okay,
Hey,
so are we? Just to be clear, are you telling?
just so we can muddy this up a little more.
Are you telling me, like when we watch other teams on the bubble, like it really doesn't matter because
No, I mean it still matters because there is still like you still have to win games but like for example, Nebraska is a team on the bubble. They're currently, according to Lunardi, one of the final 4 buys into the tournament, meaning they're one of the final 4 teams.
They're not going to Dayton.
Right. They play Michigan tonight. You want Michigan as a Razorback fan to win that game for 2 reasons. 1, because you beat Michigan. You want Michigan to keep winning. But 2, you want Nebraska to lose because it makes your path to get in the dance a little
Hail
easier.
to the victors, baby.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go that far.
Hail to the victors.
No, that needs to stop. That needs to stop right now.
Hey,
Stop.
by the way, while you're doing that, Bart, you may know this. Bo, you might too. What's with all the kids, like, in the student section saying star in unison, and they sing the national anthem now? This is all. This is like an epidemic. It's in every arena.
It's a like Cowboys thing. They're also doing like the home of the Chiefs and everything because I guess there are a lot of Kansas
it all
City.
goes back to the Dallas Cowboys being America's team.
It's ridiculous and it needs to stop.
What about
because these are the
I've
Arkansas
never heard
Razorbacks.
that.
And the lyric is home
Well,
of
you
the
just
brave.
asked. He asked a question and you give him the answer, and he
So-
goes, "I've never heard that."
answer.
Well,
I've never asked the question.
How do you know
that's
that?
what's going on.
How do you
Because
know
I
that?
have a predisposition. When people start blaming the Cowboys for everything, it's like, well, that's crazy.
Well, of course.
Yeah,
How does-
that's
my
crazy
question is,
talk.
how does Bart know this?
Well, I pay attention.
Well, I know that. Hey,
You're not on camera today.
I looked.
Yes, I am.
Hey,
I've got.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
when I posed the question, I
was
looked at
concerned.
Bart. If
Yeah,
you
I'm sure
notice,
you
I
were.
did not look at you when I posed that question. I looked at Bart because trivial stuff like that no one cares about. That's Bart's wheelhouse.
There's a
baby.
backhanded compliment
that's-
right there.
That's
There
Bart's
it is.
wheelhouse.
True. It's very. How did you know that?
Just
Was it on a rap song?
You just
No.
know.
Was it hidden in a rap song
That's-
somewhere?
I'm just
That was
entitled-
actually
I'm
that
entitled
was
to
my
online.
suspicion.
Yeah.
That was my suspicion when I heard it.
Right.
No,
Must be a rap song.
you've got like
It's so true. It's so true. If you want to find an answer,
I know.
you gotta rap or Taylor Swift. It's in one of them.
Anytime I don't know what something is, I just assume it's in a rap song, and everybody knows but me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do know
that's
this.
good.
anyway. There's your answer, Chuck.
All right. I just
Okay, I got one more. I got
All right, go ahead.
another trivial question
All right.
directed at Bart. Nobody
Trivial.
cares.
Trivial.
Great.
Sharkensaw. What are the sharks?
Good God.
What are the sharks in the student section about?
I still don't think anybody
This has
knows.
been going on for years, but nobody seems to have like a real answer.
I think it just started and it's become a thing.
You know what else is going to become a thing on Wednesday night is Bart's cutout in the student section.
Okay.
People are going to be asking about that.
Hey,
Where that came
It's going
from.
to be a big night.
It is gonna be a big night.
I really hope not.
I've had people ask me about it.
We're gonna
And
stumble
I've
in
said,
here.
You just wait till the Texas game.
We're going to stumble in here on Thursday morning. I'll tell you, we're going to need help from the audience that day. It's going to be a late night.
I don't know if this cutout will survive the Texas game. I mean,
Oh,
by the time that
man.
thing's, by the time
It may
that
not.
body surf that thing through the crowd,
may not.
over and it's tossed out on the floor.
I tried again on Saturday. And
I'm
I
starting to
didn't.
grow attached to it at this point.
Wednesday. Wow, that's.
I don't know if you know this part, but Doug Show's calling the game.
Wow.
No, I don't know.
Hey, I got an idea. What
We can have a cutout of Doug Shows and a cutout of Bart.
It's perfect.
That's the sort of marketing plan
That's the idea.
That's
what we
why
came
it's the
up
number
with
one
right
show
here.
out there.
Yeah, that's
That's
exactly
right.
right. One of the
That's
many
right.
reasons.
That's why we're winning.
All right. Well, spring's not here yet, but you may
That's
want
right.
to get ahead of it and get your gutters cleaned
Yeah, if
out.
you're having issues with your gutters or the drainage around your house right now, let us recommend Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned, locally operated, 30 years of experience, and they really do it all. Seamless gutters. They make them on site. You want some trenching work? They can do it. French drains, piece of cake. They're also fully licensed and insured, and every job comes with a 20-year warranty. They back up what they're doing. Let's be honest. You can have work done at your home, and if it doesn't go right, try finding that guy. Sometimes it's hard to do. They can disappear fast. When you got a company that's been around over 20 years, offers you a warranty, that's when you know you're dealing with somebody you can trust. So they'll come out, they'll give you an estimate, they'll check out your situation. Hoggutters.com. That's hoggutters.com.
Chuck, you'll be happy to hear that someone, Matt from the 501, says it's the Dallas Stars, not the Cowboys, that they're saying.
Okay, right there. I wondered about that. I mean, it's become an epidemic nationwide.
Still doesn't make sense. Looking for it in a song. 8:44, it's the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Touching the hearts of Arkansans, the passive-aggressive Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. Ready or not, it is tax season, but luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
Flight by Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Pascal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit GoPascal.com today to schedule your service. Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, PRECIDENT. We'd love to help.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Yeah, does Chuck sleep that much? Because it just sometimes...
He's old, so when you get old, you don't really sleep as much.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today. and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace. Or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heat and Air and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Now, for a limited time, employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas, Wheels RV. That's right, employee pricing is back, and you pay what our employees pay on a huge selection of select new and used RVs, plus some 2025 models included. You'll find all your favorite brands, such as Grand Design, Brinkley, Forest River, Vibe, Nobo, and Flagstaff. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV sold. Employee pricing exclusively at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV, located 5 miles west of I-49 in Tawnytown. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
We take 2 planes in basketball. Needless to say, I'm on plane 2.
But you are the king of plane 2. You are the host. You are the chairman of the second plane.
I wouldn't go so far as to say chairman, but my seat is in the upper half.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Did you guys have a good weekend?
Well, it was a great weekend, as a matter of fact.
You were busy all
Basketball filled. I just spent the night at Bud Walton Arena after the game Saturday night. And just didn't want to leave.
Rolled right into that women's game for Phil.
Rolled right in, man.
Phil was down in Texas calling the baseball games.
They had a good weekend, I'm sure. I mean, they had fun. It was a big gathering of Razorback fans. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, they lost a tough win 3-2 to Kansas State, who didn't lose while they were down there.
Did they not? They go 3-0. They were 1-4 going down there too, I think.
I know. And then they
baseball,
beat
man.
TCU, and
that's baseball.
Yeah.
The Alloy brothers went off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they jumped on Michigan yesterday, scored a bunch of runs early, and then
held on late.
Kind of fell apart a little bit on the mound or defensively.
Hey, here's
or
the
whatever,
deal about that,
late
though.
in the game, but they found a way to win.
You play Saturday night.
Oh, that's right.
And then you play at 11 o'clock in the morning. I don't care if you win by one run and the other team was 0-80 and you were 80-0. It's a good win.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
Get out of there.
They're human beings. I mean, they are kids. They are human beings. And so
again, sleep is important.
Stuff like that matters. Certainly
and you
does.
don't just get home. You just don't get back to the hotel and fall asleep right away.
No, you don't.
I mean, that's like a 2-hour process to unwind from the game. And then, by the time you get in a position to sleep, you're back up and out. Yeah, it was a good weekend for them. Who do they have next? What, we got a midweek game, or do we?
Yeah, we got a game tomorrow night, don't we? Or tomorrow afternoon?
These are things I should know.
Well, me too.
But
tomorrow, Grambling, 3 o'clock at the Friendly Confines.
Okay, and we got baseball weather this week. Well, I bet
tomorrow's going to be a great day.
Yeah, you'll have
for
some.
baseball.
You know what? I'm going to have to change my schedule. I'm going to have to go to the old ballpark on Tuesday. What was the best thing you saw this weekend, Bart?
I got to give a shout out to the Razorback softball team. They did really well down at.
Did you actually see it?
I watched it on Flow Sports.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was watching it in the baseball
Took
game.
Full advantage of that subscription.
Bart was making his way through Flow Sports all
Pardon
weekend.
me for doubting that you didn't.
They did finally the winning streak to start the season finally came to an end, but they won 14 straight games to start the year, second longest winning streak in program history. And shout out to Bree Ellis, 9 home runs through 15 games now. She is the career active leader in home runs in college softball. National Player of the Week last week. Might win it again this week. We'll see.
All right. Best thing I saw.
All over it.
Best thing I saw was a gender reveal football spike. My son did the football spike. Blue chalk everywhere. Blue. Boy.
There you go.
Boy.
I'm going to be a granddad of a boy.
Yeah.
You already bought him a tool set and a rifle? Bought him a gun yet?
A bottle of bourbon.
Yeah, a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be
Raise
aged
him right.
really nice by the time
Teach him
it's drinking age.
Teach him how to, do the betting line and, all that stuff.
Get him a care package.
Yeah.
You gotta
Teach him all the guy stuff.
Get a Bible and a bottle of bourbon to get the whole gamut right there. Get him a Bet Saracen app.
What? Well, see, there's certain
50-50 raffle.
There's certain things granddads can teach
Things you
that
gotta
dads
know.
can't.
That's right.
I mean,
How to gamble,
you
son.
can teach him how to bet the money line.
That's right.
I mean, you can teach things like that as a granddad.
Mm-hmm.
And as a dad, I guess you can too, but teach him how to cut a cigar. Teach him how to do things
That's an important life skill right
that'll
there.
serve him well as he moves on down the road.
Make him a new customer on the Oaklawn Sports app so I can get another $1,000 in bonus
right.
bets.
That's exactly
Well, this is my grandkids. I'm going to manage 2 accounts. Can I do that? Is that okay? I'm gonna build up savings for him over time. Okay, these are all jokes. We're playing
not
along
joking.
here. Well, Chuck's
being very serious.
Well, the other nice thing I saw this weekend is I took my truck to the car wash. It looks a lot better.
I got to do that today.
Oh God,
Yeah,
I
I'm
gotta
doing
do
that today. Yep.
I mean, it just changes your whole attitude.
Hey, but you're gonna have to battle the crowd. I mean, you have to battle the crowd at the car
Well,
wash.
this morning you'll be all right.
I don't know.
Do it when you leave here.
I don't know.
Get you a donut and run through the car wash.
Yeah.
How about you? What's the best thing you saw?
I like seeing all the guys from my era
Yeah,
back. I like seeing the 89-90 team back. I know that's not funny or big joke or anything like that, but I enjoyed
all the
seeing
stuff
those
we
guys.
talked about with my grandkid wasn't really funny either. It was all misplaced and horribly uncomfortable.
Well, it was fun for us. It's going to be fun for me moving forward.
Cal Live tonight.
Yeah,
what are you
7
gonna
o'clock.
do? What are you going to do?
I'm going to ask a question and, walk away. 10 minutes
Yeah.
later, I'll come back and ask another one.
Hey, it is the vibe around Arkansas basketball is always great after a win. Another big game coming Wednesday, though. Chuck and Bo Show, have a great Monday.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be